All right, welcome to the Sae Bae Cast number 28 with Lopsi. Lopsi, what's up, man?
I found it really hard to not just like yell in the middle of your talking because nobody's done that. So like I wanted to do that right there, but I
Yeah,
refrained.
well, I'm glad. No, it's definitely the signature. It's the Sae Bae signature
Yep.
at this point.
Yeah.
I can't change it now. It's like even if I wanted to change it, I couldn't because then it's just like, what the hell? This isn't a Sae Bae Cast. So, all right, well, we were talking a little bit beforehand, guys, and just mentioning how um, well, I guess we never really even talked about it fully, but I was saying we got Uncle Cool or Uncle now. His name's Uncle. So for those that are curious, Uncle had messaged me and said, "Hey, like, can you change some of the details on the Uncle Cool cast because his name's no longer Uncle Cool, it's just Uncle because he got partnered and got all that name changed." Anyway, um, we were talking and he had mentioned things about Lopsy, and for those that don't know who Lopsy is, you're about to find out, but. We were talking, and he was just saying how much he admires like Lopsy and how much he would love to have Lopsy on the cast. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, we'll get Lopsy on the damn Sae Bae cast. So here we are.
Yeah. I was also like honored because I've listened to all the ones prior to this. Actually, not the last two because I like having like a full day of work to listen. So it's like what three, sometimes two. The ones with BC Guppy, it was two both podcasts in one day, and that was awesome. Shout out that guy.
Yeah. Well, shit, man. I'm glad. Honestly, I'm just what's the word for it? I'm just really happy when I hear people really enjoying the Sae Bae cast because I feel like this would be something I would super enjoy, but because I'm producing it, I just don't find the enjoyment
So
listening to
hard
it.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I like about it is that it's like you have this basis of that, like everybody that wants to listen to it or that has listened to it is like has the basis of we all play RuneScape, and then in the middle we're just talking about whatever the fuck, and then it goes back to RuneScape at some point. So it's like you have like this interest of like the game knowledge that somebody has
It's
or
like
or
common
what they,
ground almost.
yeah, yeah. And then you get an insight on their life, and then it's like, oh yeah, and then that's when I started playing RuneScape, and then it's back to RuneScape, and you get an insight on a different part of their life. I love it. It's all like it just kind of bounces around very very fluently.
Well, shit. Thank you.
I'm also excited for like when the Sae cast is like so big, you have a studio and people are flying in. And there's like a webcam and everything, like it's the Joe Rogan podcast, you know? Like you get to see like the production happening live and like the conversations That'd be
I would
awesome.
literally kill for that. But I want it to all be like I don't know what the right word is, like almost streamlined where like everything's the same, because if we had like some that are still
Hmm.
recordings and then some that are in the studio, it's like uh then the studio ones are going to just take way higher like
Yeah, that's true.
prevalence almost over the other
That's
ones.
true.
So and I was actually considering getting some Sae cast with face cams, but I'm like, as soon as I do that once, I almost feel like the other ones aren't as special because
Yeah, I was saying you should do that with Mofo if you ever get Mofo on because like he just sits there with his sunglasses and his hat on and just answers with like the most like blatantly blunt answers and he has zero emotion. So like that'd be perfect for like the first like that should be the first webcam one if you ever do one. It's just Mofo being just like no emotion and answering everything just like he does.
yeah, we'll definitely get Mofo on. Somebody had recommended Bastilla be the first one with the cam on, so we'll
Oh,
see.
cool.
It's either Mofo or Bastilla, but no, but so yeah, we'll get Mofo on for sure. He's definitely I don't
A
know. He's
staple in the
yeah,
community.
he definitely is. I he's been making some moves here and there, so it's cool to
Yeah,
see.
and I like how much he's been streaming recently too, because I feel like he wasn't streaming a lot. Just you knew him from you see emotes, and then you look over the GIF, the BTTV emote, and it's just made by Mofo or channel Mofo. And that's like way too many emotes. If you go to his BTTV channel, it's like I didn't even know he made this, and I have this on my channel. That like that influential, almost like con number one was a few years ago when like every I don't know Jace please, Saf please, like all those were made
Oh
by
yeah.
con number one.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, shit, Lopsy. I so for those that don't know, Lopsy is a Twitch streamer. He's been streaming for how long now? When's the
RuneScape or the first
I
stream?
guess the first. Let's just get into it a little bit because I feel like I've been following you for like at least 2 years. It feels like maybe almost 2 years, but
I think you've been following for almost 3, honestly. Because actually, wait, yeah, almost 3. My first stream though was I was playing Zelda Ocarina of Time, trying to learn a skip in 2014. I was in high school, and that was when I first started streaming. I was trying to learn like to speedrun Ocarina of Time, but like I didn't have like the diligence to like set up a skip was basically it. So like in that game you have to have like 2 frame perfect skips where like you lock onto an NPC and then at the right time you unlock on and then you like slide backwards through a wall. And I could not get the setup for the life of me. So my first stream was for 3 hours. I was sitting there at my computer cussing out my fucking monitor. I had one monitor and I would use the input to go back to see if anybody was in chat. And then I'd go back to the N64 screen and I'd play more Zelda. And then every like 20 minutes or so I'd input back over to my computer screen to see if somebody was talking. And that was how like my first streams were for about 7 months. And then after I streamed Ocarina of Time, I moved on to Mario, Super Mario Sunshine. And that's when I actually started like gaining viewers. Then I took 2 years off to play Dota 2. Hated that, and then got back into RuneScape. Actually, my senior year, my best friend. I don't remember what I was doing. I was burnt on playing Dota, and I was like, I'm gonna log into RuneScape, and I logged into RS3, and I was in like Varrock or something, and I was like, dude, my stats are so shit. Like my best stat was like 86 strength. I was like, dude, I thought I was like 2K total or something. I have like 1,300 total, and I have a 1 level 80. And my best friend messaged me like, "Yo, what are you doing on this game right now?" Because he had never stopped playing, and
yeah.
I was like, I'm trying to make some money. I'm picking up red spider eggs in the Varrock sewers." He's like, "You dumbass, get on old school." I was like, "Man, I don't want to restart." He's like, "Look at your account. You could do that in a day." And then I got on. I played free to play for like a week, and then he bought me a bond because that motherfucker did corp all day, every day.
Damn.
And yeah, from there I just basically just fell in love with the game. And then around like 1,200 total, I was like, dude, fuck this. Iron Man had not just came out, but this was like 2 months before Hardcore came out. And I was like, fuck this. This is just not satisfying doing quests. I'm gonna do it on an Iron Man. And then I was like, this is way more AIDS. I have to get all the shit. What's happening? This is way more AIDS. And then I went back to my main for a long time. That's actually I'd say the next year you found my stream through like a lake or a Fuse host because that happened in one day. Fuse hosted me, and I was like, dude, I not even the who joke, but I don't even know who this guy is. But he just hosted me with like 100 viewers.
God
I
damn.
don't really watch Twitch. I'm just streaming like, and then Lake hosted me like 10 minutes later. Maybe it was Corporal Eric.
Oh
Because
shit.
I was a fucking big fan of Corporal Eric to the point where like anytime he was live, I didn't have a job. I would literally wake up to a live notification and just like hop in his stream and just watch it because I was like fascinated with how he played this game, how he flicked bandos and stuff. And that's like, man, the fact that I can flick bandos now is insane because I used to be the biggest bot ever.
What
But
do you
that's
mean by
the
what do you mean by that? Just
by bot. I used to just fucking I
just
used to not play this game. The game used to play me. I would log in and click around and shit would happen, but like I had no concept of anything in this game before I started doing chambers.
so I want to hear because I've been seeing your recent streams. You're hunting the BCP. I'm shit. Am I wrong on
Yeah,
that?
yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
You're hunting the
Let's
BCP
see.
and
KC Bandos
yeah, what's your
1081.
1081 no BCP yet? You'll get it soon.
Yeah.
Within the next 2000, right?
Hopefully.
No, so I don't know if you were watching my stream earlier today. I was doing some bandos and
I could not. I was at work,
yeah, no,
unfortunately.
I was doing some bandos and this is like the first time in I want to say a year, but I literally don't know the time frame. It might have even been more than a year, but I was actually trying out the different methods of bandos. There was a mage method and then there was the range and then melee and I was like, oh yeah, melee, I'll just pick it up real quick. Yeah, I died like 4 times pretty much instantaneously. But then I finally was getting it down and it was super enjoyable. And it just takes a little bit of time getting back into it. But I really do admire anybody that has learned to like do Bandos flicking and other challenging content because I know what they've been through. And it's not actually that big of a process to learn how to Bandos flick, but I
Mm.
admire it because it's so intimidating initially.
It really is, especially because I have everybody in my ears just like, just range, band. It's so, just range. You can do it with the rune crossbow, just range Bandos. You get more kills per hour. But I just wasn't satisfied
Yep.
with turning Bandos into Sarah.
Yeah.
Um, Sarah's one of the most boring bosses in my opinion because it's like
Completely agree.
there's no mechanic other than like range mage, range mage, range mage, and that's it. That's all you do is every 5 ticks you click on the range and then back on the mage, and it's just not interesting like Bandos flicking has been because that is running under or running away. Tick eating is just the most satisfying thing. I got a 26 kill trip last week. That was 0 sweets, and I got 5 restore drops from Grarador. So it was just like carried by restore drops, but that was the most satisfying thing when I looked at my kill count and it was over 100. I was like, "Holy shit, what did I just do?" And how did I just do that? I went from like running in and dying without a kill to like I can consistently just flick and tick eat, and I'm using like 0 food, 0 prayer, like other than like the span of the kill. It's just it's so
Yeah,
satisfying.
and you're constantly improving and learning, and that's what
Oh,
just
that's a
makes it so addicting.
I've said this like many times on my stream is I don't play a game because it's fun. I play a game because the fun aspect of it is to get better at it. Every shooter I've ever played, I've never thought like, man, this game looks sick. I'm just shooting people. No, it's like I want to just get better. I want to be better at what I do, and that's a lot with this game. This game, like solo raids especially.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, solo chambers when you find out like, oh my God, I've been doing this like shit this whole time. If I optimize this run pattern on Olm, I fucking save a stam dose and I actually kill this boss faster because I'm not running around all the fucking time. So like, man, it's a very eye-opening. Also like, shout out Tip for still making new methods for Olm. That is,
Yeah, he's a machine.
yeah, fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I remember when
Yeah, no,
he
go ahead.
he he popped in my stream and was like, there's easier way to do head face because I was doing it with RCB blowpipe, and he was like, just use blowpipe. I was like, oh my God, I just fucking get destroyed if I have a blowpipe only. And then he's like 7-0 and just links me a video, and then I spent like I don't know 2 raids learning it, and then I had it down to the point where I was using like 3 brews on head phase instead of 8. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
fucking
that
crazy.
that shit's really cool to see. It's cool how we've I don't know, it's almost like if you were to watch a timeline of like the initial solo raids where like Wooks was doing them compared to like
Hmm.
what we have now with like I don't know. I think of like Puggin doing that. Like Puggin will like
Oh
insta
yeah,
start doing those like 7 to whatever O methods and stuff like that with Olm, and it's really cool to see. Also, you know what's really cool to see is Puggin and Lake doing Nightmare. Anything
yeah,
with Puggin and Lake in it, I get a hard on basically because they're so like they almost know what they're about to. They're like in harmony with each other almost.
yeah, yeah.
It's
I
just really
mean,
cool to see.
Uh, Corbin, I haven't got the pleasure to meet Corbin, but he has been an outstanding guy every time I talk to him and just like pop in his chat. I got the pleasure to meet Lake and actually like go to his Airbnb at this last TwitchCon in 2019.
Oh shit.
And that guy is just so fucking kind. I brought a friend who was throwing up in the backyard of his Airbnb and then like throwing up in the sink, and he was like disappointed that like it got out of hand, and then afterwards he was like, nah, it's all good, like it wasn't like he was upset or anything with us. He was just like, shit happens. I would have been fucking upset if some guy I didn't know was just throwing up all over the backyard and shit.
Yeah.
Ugh,
No, Lake
great guy
is
though.
I've never met him in real life, but he's definitely one of the most humble people ever. And
Oh,
he's
100%.
so fucking talented at RuneScape.
Yeah, insane.
Like he's just got natural rhythm. I wonder if he's like a drummer. I don't know about him as much, but I feel like people that are super good at this game almost like have like a musical background.
Yeah, not me. I have a musical background and I'm still not good.
No, but you are good. But wait,
I'm decent now. I'm decent now.
yeah, but what's your? I mean, but you understand ticks. Like you could probably feel them. You know, when you get into the rhythm,
Yeah.
you don't need to
Yeah.
count them. You just feel them. It's just like
Yep.
So what's your musical background?
My brother put a guitar in my hands when I was 4, and then started
Shit.
teaching me music then. And then when I got into elementary school, there was like a band class you could take, and I was like, I'm gonna learn to play like percussion. And then I was like dicking around, just like slamming the drums to piss off my teacher, and he made me play the trumpet. And I fucking hated the trumpet, so I would just blare it as loud as possible. So he took away the mouthpiece of my trumpet, and I just had to follow along with the actions. But then I figured out like you can still like make the sound. You don't need a mouthpiece to blow air into the trumpet. And then I got kicked out of band, so it was
God damn
short-lived.
it.
Um, 6th grade, my English teacher was super cool, and she was actually in like a orchestra, and she had access to 35 violins and 6 cellos, so she had a violin class, and like she played the cello herself. So I learned the violin when I was 12. I could probably still play like very, very like not in like what do you call it? Intricate songs. Like I could play like Mary You Had a Little Lamb, but the violin's very different than most instruments, like stringed instruments like that where you have frets.
Yeah.
The violin, you just have to like know where to put your
Yeah, that's
fingers.
crazy.
It's so hard to remember. Like she would put like little strips of electrical tape to like teach us like where to put it. But like just the fact that like there was one girl who played violin for like 6 years before that, and she was like no tape, and I was like, oh my God, this is the most insane thing I've ever seen. Um, and then after that, I had half days for uh middle school on Fridays. I'd have a half day, and I'd bring my guitar, and we'd go to the park, and we'd play Tenacious D and sing very naughty lyrics for being 13 and 14 years old. So yeah,
Well,
and
that's
then
awesome.
yeah, high school there was actually a guitar class I got to take, and then my junior and senior year I decided not to take them and instead build guitars in the woodshop class, which that was incredible as well. I have 2 guitars that I built
Wow.
actually
And
behind
they're
me.
actually like fully functioning.
Yeah, yeah. The
Wow.
action's high. The action's high on my acoustic, but my electric just sounds fucking amazing. It actually I was speedrunning Super Mario Sunshine at the time, so I took it upon myself to learn how to swirl dip, and I swirl dipped it like the goop color from like the most hated level ever, which was like the manta ray one. If you ever
Oh
played that
yeah.
game,
No, I've played
yeah,
Sunshine, yeah.
yeah, that it's like a turquoise blue with like yellow splashes on it. It looks so sick, and I
That's
was
sick.
so happy with how it turned out.
That's awesome.
I actually might have a picture of it I can send you over Discord right
Yeah,
now.
send it. But what do you think about music kind of helping in RuneScape? Because it
I
really is just a rhythm
definitely,
game.
yeah, I definitely see it. Um, yeah, it being a rhythm game, totally. Especially once you get that 100 BPM just like marked into your brain, it's
Yep.
very. I remember like trying to one tick when I was really new to the game, and I would like miss every third prayer, and I was like, there has to be like an easier way to like know like I'm on tick basically, and then I put on what song was it? I don't remember what song I played, but I listened to a song. I was like, oh my God, you could just click to this rhythm. And then I looked up the BPM and it was like 101. I was like, oh my, it must be like 100 BPM because I didn't understand anything. Also, when I first started playing and I was doing Wyverns, I thought I was going to get banned because I was flicking Eagle Eye on the exact tick that I was attacking. I was like, they're going to ban me, dude. Every time I'm tick perfect with this, and they're going to ban me for doing this. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was so innocent to what like actually gets banned in this game.
Yeah.
Now you have people that like left click once on their client, and everything gets displayed in ID numbers and ticks. So
Yeah. It's crazy. It's
yeah.
crazy what the game is now.
Oh
So
yeah.
like
Oh yeah.
but I wouldn't change it because
100%.
like the plugins we have make this game so much more enjoyable. And you could say, "Oh, we lost the nostalgia of this game, and it's no longer really old school." But that was bound to happen, basically.
The nostalgia got lost for me after I listened to like all the soundtracks between Falador and Mauritania. Then after that, it was like, oh, this is just like a game that's kind of sick, so I'm gonna play it. the nostalgia was there when I heard fucking the sound when you first get into Lumbridge, you know? That was like
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh
Dude,
my
all
God,
those
this is so
songs
sick."
still give me the chills. There's I
Yeah,
I try not to listen to them much though because like, you know, as soon as you listen to
same.
them, it's like loses that nostalgia effect.
I think that's why I like Swampletics at first so much, was because he would throw in like Still Night and stuff like that, like those tunes that you just like when you
Like the
hear, you're like,
feels.
oh man, I remember like the first time I went through. I think Still Night's from uh Varrock area
I
when you're
don't
going
even
through
I
Varrock.
literally don't even know where that is, but I think it's
There's
in some
also
forest or something.
he also plays Start in that.
I
I remember
love
Start,
Start. Yep.
dude. I remember like the first time I was going to Falador that way, I was like, dude, what is this? This song is sick. I'm just gonna stand right here.
Dude,
Just listen to it.
as a kid, Baroque was my absolute favorite because it always reminded me of summers. Because I only got membership in the summers and I'd have to like save
Uh-huh.
up for it. $5. That was so much for me
That
to save up
was
when I was like 10.
yeah.
And I would save up and then I'd go steal cakes. And like I thought thieving was the coolest skill of all time. I used to think when I was 10 that you could train up your thieving enough and you could steal from other people. And I would see people with like Santa hats and stuff and I'm like, dude, there has to be a way to steal that from them.
Man,
Like,
I grew up like Catholic, like my parents very religious. They actually didn't let me watch Ed and Eddie, if you know that show,
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
there was scamming in that show. So when I became a member, I was like, I'm not gonna train thieving. My mom will see that I'm stealing and she won't let me play this game. That was like my thieving experience on this game. I
Damn.
want to quickly shout out Settled, dude. The
Yeah.
Swampletics is so good. So good. And like I watched Settled when he first had the what was that? Did you watch his YouTube before he like super blew up?
I had watched his what was it, 7,000 hour journey. I don't know if that was before or after Swampletics.
That was the video before, I believe. I think maybe two.
Okay.
But I watched like way back when okay, wyverns were popping at the time, and he was going for a dragon fire shield. He was going for a visage from there, and he at while he was doing that, he said, "You know what? I want to like make this account like this is a new series like the Dream Gear List or something." And I was like, "This is sick. Like this account is sick. He's never touched the bank, and he has all this shit on it. That's fucking amazing." Um, so then I started watching him when he streamed, and I don't know how, but he started watching me. Fuck. I can't even remember. I could probably look at his chat logs. Let's see. User settled. I was streaming Super Mario Odyssey and December of 2017. He popped in and was just like, "Yo, this looks sick." Because I was just like, I was getting good at Super Mario Odyssey, like maybe 20 minutes within world record of having an any percent run, which
Shit.
is by no means close. But for maybe 2 weeks of playing it, that's pretty fucking close. Without grinding like specific skips over and over and over again. And yeah, that was literally my only viewer. Like when I saw Settled pop in when I was playing that, I was like, damn, like the least expected person to pop in when I'm streaming this game pops in like maybe this is like good enough to stream. And then I just loved streaming it after that.
That's awesome.
So
And that was
very
back before
grateful.
he like had blown up.
Yeah, yeah. Way back when.
Damn. Yeah. It's crazy the I don't know, just how I don't know the full like story of Settled of like, you know, what I mean, cuz I already knew he was pretty well known on YouTube before he made Swampletics.
Hmm.
But damn, that was like the craziest blow up I have ever seen.
I
It
think it was when Reddit got a hold of it.
Oh yeah, no, it had to have been. And the same with
Yeah.
have you watched Limport's one extreme one chunk man series?
I've seen some of the One Chunk Man, but what's Extreme One
Extreme
Chunk
one
Man?
chunk man is like he does things until it's fully done. Like he went
Mm.
and like killed 500,000 men in Lumbridge just to get a defense cape. Like that was his requirement for the first chunk.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
that is
he
insane.
literally killed 500,000 men and women. And then like the next grind he had to do was like, well, there's I don't want to spoil anything, but he had to do some like other grinds where he had to go mine to like 90 mining or something, just doing like iron with
Oh
a black
man.
pickaxe, which is like slow as fuck.
Oh, it's
Anyway,
so brutal.
yeah,
I commend anybody that does those like weird grinds like that because it's like this game is already slow
I
enough.
know.
I mean, if you work full time, right? So I work 40 hours a week minimum, and then I get home at 3 p.m. or 3:30, and I'm like, the last thing I want to do is like be inefficient with my time when I log in.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a very inefficient player, like I'll do the most efficient ways for like 20 minutes, and I'll just be like, yeah, I'm gonna watch a show and kind of relax, but still do this, even though it's probably not efficient too. But as long as I trick myself into thinking I'm efficient. So what does it matter?
Yeah.
And
No, but okay, so I'm curious because uh, I can't say there's a whole bunch of guests I've had that work over 40 hours a week and on top play RuneScape. A lot of us are neats here, but I'm curious how you think of the game because I think you had mentioned earlier like there was a point where you weren't working and playing. But
yeah.
what do you think about the game when you're working and then when you're not working? I guess like what is the feel of it? Do you feel almost as if the game gets more dull if that's pretty much your focus in life at the time?
I can say that there's like two things that like burnt me out from this game. And one was playing. I used to, when I didn't have a job, I played like 14 hours a day with zero goals in mind. My goal was like on the main, it was like get every item. And that's like what a main account basically does, just get every item. I didn't care about maxing or anything because I just figured like the time investment was. I was also not I guess diligent enough. I would like start skilling. I'd be like, nap sounds pretty good. I'm gonna go lay down for a bit here. And actually, I was doing Slayer one time and I went and took a nap and a wyvern autoed me and I lost like a BCP,
Oh
a fucking
God.
DFS. Like I wasn't hurting for cash or anything because I was doing a lot of raids
Yeah.
and I think I had like a 1200 raids KC at the time, but I logged in. I was like, oh well, I'm not taking naps anymore. If I get off, I'm gonna log out and go do whatever.
Yeah.
And but the difference for me is like when I played 14 hours a day, I felt like I got more burnt than when I only have 4 hours a day to play, because you have 14 hours to play and you have one goal. And I guess that'd be different now because playing on my iron, I have way too many goals now.
Yeah.
But the 4 hours that I play a day, and then also like I want to play other games. I do enjoy playing other games a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like 4 hours turns to 3 or 2, and then streaming on top of that. I really like streaming this game because the community that comes in. Really, my only goal when I go live is make somebody laugh. Right? That's the goal, is just have some conversations and make some people laugh. So I feel like I do a good job at that,
You
and
do.
you know what? Playing this game helps a lot because you don't have to focus on the game 100%. If I stream, an FPS, I want to look at what's happening in the game because something's always changing. With how this game is, you can look away, look at chat, catch up, or you have that banking break where you go to your bank and you get to talk to people and, progressively move through the game as you're talking to people, getting back to whatever you're doing, like Bandos, for instance. I get all the time of 40 KC and the banking to talk to people. And then when I'm in the room, I try my best, but there's just no shot with how much is going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, the difference for me is just the goals were different then. And I feel like I would not have burnt out nearly as hard. But I also get I get like really strong urges to play a game. Uh, I just don't want to stop playing that game. Like right now, I really want to play CS. Like I've been having a lot of fun playing CS:GO, and I really want to play CS. Like that's kind of like what I want to do right now. And it's not like I'm bored of RuneScape or I don't have those goals. It's just I know what my goals are, and this game isn't going anywhere.
Yep.
So rather play like what I feel. Just
Yeah.
kind of play it by ear.
Yeah. I feel like that's totally the way it should be.
Did I even answer the question?
Yeah.
I feel
No,
like
I feel like you have. There's no real
okay.
like, and just keep in mind this is a Sae Bae Cast. It can go wherever we want. You
Yeah.
could just not
Yeah.
answer any questions and it's still fine. Okay, so I want to cover a couple topics before we get out of hand, and it's already been like, I don't want it to be like 2 hours in and we haven't done it because I've done that before where it's literally 2 hours in we haven't covered Twitter topics. But I want to cover this first one by Ignoble Solid. He asks, who/what inspired you to start streaming? And then he's got some other questions. I'll just list them all right now, but we'll go from the top. Where did the name Lopsi come from? What's your long-term goal in the iron? What's your RS hot take? And who's your current favorite Booba streamer? So we'll start from the top. What
Yeah.
inspired you to start streaming?
Um, really, it was just. This sounds arrogant as fuck, but it was just me. I didn't go live because I saw somebody and I want 2,000 viewers when I was 13 or 14, and I was like, actually, on this account, I think I was 16. I was 16 and I wanted to go live because I wanted to like show off, like, yeah, I can get to this point this fast on playing Ocarina of Time, fuck, playing Zelda. So that was like, I guess you could say me. I guess the underlying answer would be the games done quick events like SGDQ and HDQ.
Yeah.
Those are like the big charities where it's all the speedrunners gather. I wanted to one day be there. But like I never I'm a sociable person as soon as somebody makes me sociable. Other than that, I don't like doing things. I don't really like spending my time outside of playing games. Playing games is just like a good medium where I get to talk to people. And if I want to, I can talk to nobody and I can just play the game.
Yep.
So, yeah, arrogant as fuck answer is me. The other answer is the games done quick events because I just thought it was like so awesome that like all those people show up there and just destroy these games in the name of like I think it's Doctors Without Borders and then I don't remember the other one, what the other cause is, but it's such a crazy. I think recently it's gotten kind of weird, as in like the interaction with the Twitch stream is kind of weird. It used to be like very like free to interact, and now I think it's like sub only mode or something. It's something weird like that. And
Mm.
like also other streamers aren't allowed to re-stream it. So like you'd go to like Trihex's stream because he wasn't at the event and he'd be streaming it, like giving his takes on what's happening and like
Mm.
he'd stop talking when there was donos and like be respectful and stuff, but like they said you aren't allowed to do that anymore. And I don't know, it just gave a different insight from a different perspective, and it wasn't like it was taking away from the event itself because the
Yeah.
people weren't donating to Trihex be like, oh yeah, thanks for supporting Doctors on Board. It was like people were just watching it with Trihex because it was fucking Trihex.
Yep.
And like, so yeah, I guess there's the two answers. Recently I could say like XQC is like the inspiration to stream because like I just love how much he cares about his chat and how he streams. He doesn't stream with a schedule. He will get up and just go live, and he'll go live. When he was streaming Overwatch, he would literally go live for 30 hours at a time. Sleep for 8 hours, go live for 30 more hours. It was
Jesus Christ.
an insane grind that he was on, and I was working at a factory then. So like I was working 312, so I'd have 4 days off, and I was able to watch him for like 4 straight days. And like if I was blessed enough to have 60 hours of XQC, I would stay up for like nearly the entire. I'd stay up for like 25 hours or something to just watch because like he's just a fucking incredibly I guess charismatic would be the word. Like he has like this like energy that's always there, and there's never like a dull moment in that stream. And like you could, I totally get not wanting to watch big streamers because it's like you want the interaction, but that interaction that he brings is like completely different than a small stream.
Yeah.
It's like and like I love it too because you can just spam caps lock and any emotes, and if he sees it, he'll actually say some shit.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, you dance game him. He goes, "What are you dance?" Like he just gets all mad. What are you fucking dance gaming? It's so fucking funny.
Now I remember. I don't know if you ever watched like Ice Poseidon way back.
That was the first RuneScape stream I watched. Was his.
That's your introduction to RuneScape streams.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was my introduction to RuneScape Twitch. Was him sticking his tongue out and dying PKing over and over and over again.
Yeah, no, like OG Ice Poseidon streams they were definitely not like small streams. This is like, because I usually am a small stream type of person. I'll just go into smaller streams. They're just more enjoyable for me. But
Yeah.
there are some occasions where being in a chat room where everyone's spamming and it's the funniest fucking thing you've ever watched. It just hits different. It's just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Where did the name Lopsy come from?
Oh man, this is embarrassing. So me being 15, 16, I really wanted just I wanted a four-letter name. I wanted a four-letter name, and I had played Final Fantasy VII recently, and I was like, dude, I just want the name Tifa or like, I don't know, like Lion or something. I just wanted a four-letter name, and I just was so fixated on that. And I don't remember what conversation I was having with a friend of mine, but I was like, dude, there's just no four-letter names to have. Like, I just lose. And then he was like, yeah, you can't really win with a four-letter name. Like, it's fucking 2014, my guy. All the four-letter names are taken unless you want like four consonants or, four vowels. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, that's just not what I want. And I don't know why, but I was looking at the word lose in like this text that I had sent him, and I was like, what if I just put a random ass letter in there, and I just put a P, and then it became Lopsy, because it was like, I was like sitting there like pronouncing it to myself. I was like, "Ah, I guess people could call me Lops or Lopsy. I can't really see any other thing." And then Fuse fucking ruined that, and he calls me Lopes for whatever reason. For whatever reason, the
Jesus
E
Christ.
comes before the S, but you know what? That's okay.
Lopes.
He's You know what? That's fine with me. I'm Lopes to that guy and that guy only. If other people start calling me Lopes, man, I'm fucking. You're banned. You're literally just banned in my chat if you call me Lopes. I'll unban you, but yeah. So, yeah, that's how the name came to be. It's embarrassing. I just settled for a five-letter name with lose and just something in between.
I
Like,
like it. It's unique. Nobody
eh, eh,
else. Nobody else
yeah,
has that.
yeah. I also loved it because my prefix when I became an affiliate was just Lopsy. So,
Yeah. It's so good having that prefix initially.
yep,
Sae
yep.
Bae as my prefix.
Oh,
Greatest blessing
so
of all
good.
time. Oh,
Yeah.
that
I'd
was.
say the I'd say the only scuffed prefix I miss was Wales 5. Fucking sit now. Wales 5 was so
Wales 5.
good.
Yeah.
Wales 5 was just like home to me.
Yeah. No, there's some there's some crazy ones where they have like two
Yeah.
numbers in it, and I'm like, ugh, that was
I don't
bad.
know if you know Prim, Prim underscore underscore. His
Yeah.
is Prim 137. So
God, yeah, that's just too
yeah.
much.
Just why? Why did they do
Just
that?
looks
Like,
horrible. You
yep.
should really be able to change it when you're an affiliate, but I can understand like
Yeah.
why they don't
The
give
probably the
priority.
request would be
Yeah,
so high to change it.
that's true. And if it wasn't like request based, there'd just be a bunch of bots stealing all the good ones anyway. So
Oh yeah. Yeah.
no, I'm just blessed. It was always Sae Bae, and now we got animated emotes. So years
Oh my
ago, so
God, yours are so good.
they came out with the animated emotes, and I remember calling my emotes, the ones I would upload to BTTV, I'd still have the prefix Sae Bae and then something else because
Uh-huh.
I had a feeling that in a few years down the road, Twitch would just steal BTTV basically and just make it their own things, and it finally paid off. So all the emotes that people are used to typing, they already have that Sae Bae prefix built in. So proud of myself for
Yeah, that's
foreseeing that.
awesome. I fucking love the animated emotes I get to use. They're fucking beautiful.
Apparently, affiliates are going to be getting them.
I don't know when the time frame is, but yeah, I did read that.
I wonder if
I
it's just going to be
also
like one, like they get one initially and then they get up to five if they get the like 50 sub count or something.
Oh yeah.
Who knows?
I wonder if it'll be based off of if you already have five emotes. Like I already have five emotes.
Mm.
I wonder if I have to get up to that sub count again. Not really that I'm worried about that. For whatever reason, my sub count never goes down. I just have a very outstanding community, and I tell them too, like I work full, like this is not what I do for my job. Like spend this on other people that, stream full time. They put in a lot more effort than I do. I put in effort where like I have a career coming on as an electrician, so it's like I want to put my effort there. And if I, have to go to school and stuff, I can't stream those nights. I could stream for like 2 hours and then just be unsatisfied with having a short stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really am grateful for the community I have so far, and I'd love to see it grow. I'd love to be partnered one day, but it's not really my goal ever. My goal, I had a goal to be partnered once, and that was during the Inferno streams when I was doing RCB. And I'm not even gonna lie, I was fucking milking that shit like a goddamn cow. Like one night, I fucking never check my numbers, and one night I had like two hosts all night for like 40 viewers each, and I'm like approaching double majors, and I look at my view count, I have 726. I'm like,
Jeez.
holy fuck, this is the
S-
easiest views I've ever got. All I'm doing is just I'm just praying range mage after running out from a pillar. What is happening? So,
Did you ever watch 420 streamer?
oh my God, I have the most beautiful clip where he's on Zuck and he's just tanking. He's tanking the mage and the ranger, and he just runs all the way to the next safe spot without, like, all the way two safe spots. Misses one, gets hit by Zuck, and he goes, "I told you you could tank a couple." Oh
Dude,
man.
the first stream I was ever in there, I thought he was like I don't want to sound like harsh, but I thought he was like normal. so so like I popped into his stream, I was like, oh, it's just like some normal dude. And he was at triples and he is just yelling violently, range, mage, range, mage. He's just yelling at his face cam basically, like doing this thing.
Yeah.
And then I just remember I was so excited for him to start Zook, and it literally took him 4 hours to start it. Like
Oh my
just it
God.
was nonstop. It was just he would keep playing his videos he made, and then
Yep.
listening to that. I was gonna go to
Legalized.
work, but then I got
Oh
hot.
yeah.
Dude, that
He
song
also
actually bothers me now. Like it actually
yeah
pisses
after
me off because it just reminds me of that milking.
yeah he had a song called like Legalize,
Oh yeah.
and it was the worst quality song, and he sung it over my favorite fucking song ever, which is Daft Punk One More Time, and I
Uh,
never watched him again after that.
yeah.
I couldn't stand that.
I it was like funny as fuck at first because it was like
Yep.
300 people in there all like question marking. Like everybody was confused and
Yep.
that was the pinnacle basically. But after that I was like I can't do this. I'm like losing so many brain cells like being here expecting
It's,
something to change.
yep.
Like I'm expecting him to start Zook. It would never start. So,
So
yeah.
so fucking. I think he was trying to get partner, but he was. I feel like he would have been close if he just did that for about 2 more months.
He got the cape and you can in the clip he got the cape. You can almost see like the sadness in his eyes, like he can't milk this anymore. Just
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
over. The
Oh
milkage is
man.
over. Yeah.
I was so grateful to get my cape. I took like a 6 month break from this game because I got so burnt out just going straight for my Inferno cape with RCB.
Damn.
It was, oh my God, it was brutal. Like the one Zuck where I shift dropped the brew. Oh man. I still had like two full brews and I was killing the last two healers and I shift drop a brew instead of drink it. Because like the
Oh.
way I rest my hand on my F keys, the palm of my hand was on shift. It's not even like I was milking it at that point. If I was milking it, I would have just ran out and tanked a Zuck hit like 100 HP.
Yeah.
But I really needed to be done with that shit. And then
Yeah.
like the run that I got it, I was watching Mez do a speed run in Discord, and like he did like a 45-minute run and like died. Actually, I think it was like 49 minutes and died doing like a skip on Zuck, and he just got really unlucky with his bow hits. So like my run was really fast up until wave like 33, and then I started watching Mez, and then I was on wave 37 when I was done watching Mez. So then for like my cape run was like 2 hours and 40 minutes or something, and like I had Mez do my timers and everything, and uh that whole uh that whole getting of the cape was absolutely insane because I had one prayer point at the end of it and 15 HP. And I had no supplies left in my inventory.
Wow.
Zero supplies.
Yeah. The Inferno is I don't understand. I understand why people milk it for like
Mhm.
streaming content, but I could never do that because of just how much stress and anxiety it gives me.
It got so painful to the point where I was like, every day I failed an attempt, I would go do Gauntlet off stream to go get money for blood runes. I'd go kill Vorkath, and I fucking
Oh.
hate Vorkath. I was literally just scrounging up money for blood runes for more attempts. Then I unlock Hydra, and I just basically burnt from going for my cape because Hydra is such good money. I just wanted to do Slayer for the first time on this account. I really just dislike the Slayer skill. It's very dull to me.
Really?
Go kill 200 of this. Well, thanks, asshole. I need to go kill 200 of that because I need an item from them, but I guess I'll get XP while doing it.
I
So,
fucking love Slayer, but I do Slayer. So I would hate Slayer if it was all done through Duradel and being efficient, like barraging stuff, doing like all the efficient tasks. What I do with Slayer is like I'll do a bunch of bossing, or I'll do Wildy Slayer, or I'll do Konar
yeah,
Slayer, and it's like
now I like it for that
yeah,
purpose, for that aspect.
there's just so many other goals in mind. Like for Konar, every single task is great because I get keys, and it's like
Yep.
okay, this is like a secondary goal basically.
Yeah, that'd be. I'm nearing the point where actually want to do Bossing Slayer. I want the BCP to go to Sire, because I get shit on with my torso. I get shit on with a BCP on my main and like full max on my main. So I really want a BCP before I go. Do my Sire task, and then from there I just want to go complete like Slayer bosses. Like I have 2400 Serb KC. I really want the pet. It took me 2176 for my prims, and that was so painful.
Jeez, yeah, that sounds awful.
That was like the first meme of my channel is that I got pegged 8 times before I got any prims. It was horrible, man.
Oh god. Yeah, that's yeah. Hey, I mean, okay, well, here we'll ask this question first. What's your long-term goal on the iron?
Um, Honestly, I want to max my iron now. That's kind of the long term. I'd say short long term is finish Chambers and finish God Wars. I shouldn't say finish God Wars. I should say get the useful drop from God Wars from Arma, chestplate, chain skirt. I'd probably finish Arma. I really like Arma. I just don't like hunting chins.
Yeah. Yeah,
Bandos,
chinning Arma is great, and
oh,
as soon as you get
so
lazy
good.
enough to not catch chins and you're just using like T-bow or a crossbow, it becomes horrible.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine doing that. And like I have a friend who has a low level iron that went for armor first. Like that's what he wanted was just Armadillo.
Yeah.
He has 800 rune crossbow kills, and I
Uh,
couldn't. I'm pretty sure he has 800 hours at Arma because of that.
it's just so painful. It's not enjoyable at all. It's just
He didn't get keys.
oh
I just don't know what he was. He's an IRL friend of mine, but I don't know what he
god.
was thinking. But yeah,
I
it's
mean,
just
that's cool that he has the patience to do that. Like shit, I nobody else could ever do that.
yeah.
But yeah.
Short term is like Arma. I want to get 5,000 Gardor KC.
What is?
I'm already
Oh
one
yeah, you're at what? You said 1,000
10
or 1,100?
1081. So
Okay.
like I'm already 1/5 the way there, but
Just go for full
um
completion at this point. Just go for a pet.
yeah, that's exactly what I want. And if I don't get the pet, I'm gonna go to 5,000 and then I'm gonna take a break and then get a bunch of purple sweets. I'm gonna do so many clues just for purple sweets to go back to Bandos to be Tiki God
I
is what I
love
want
you
to
that you're
what I
gonna
want to do.
go to your clues for that. Proud of
I
you,
didn't do clues until you convinced me to do them because that small chance of getting, a mega boner, I mean, a mega rare drop. Like,
dude. It is the greatest feeling. I guess it depends how you look at third age, but third age to me has always just been like, holy
yeah,
fuck,
no, it would
this.
it would be insane.
Yeah. And dude, imagine like you actually did a shit ton of clues and you could go kill Bandos in full like third age melee on your iron.
Oh my God, that'd be insane. Third age with an Ellie, because that's one of the next goals is Corp.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, and
That's brutal.
that's why I need to get back to Slayer is because I don't have a second spear and my only spear is a lance right now. So really need to go back to Slayer. It's just fucking locked behind one item that I can't get. So
Okay, Ignoble asks, what's your RS hot take? If you have one.
oh, hot take. I guess it's just like a jab at the need for Raids 3. I mean, I would love Raids 3, but my jab at the people that like fucking think that the game's dying because Raids 3 won't be released is that uh the game is a game, but it's ran by a business, and the business is going to take into account that like Theater of Blood was not popular at all upon release. It was popular, But the amount of like completions opposed to chambers, I don't think, if I remember correctly, the chambers completion went down like 2% per week or something, whereas theater was up like there was 5% of teams attempting it, completing it for the first week. So it
Wow.
was like that's maybe an exaggeration, but you know what I mean? Like the player base that went to go do this
Oh yeah, it
content,
was
or the
no
player base,
one.
nobody was doing theater.
Yep.
That's why
It
like
was too tough.
that's why the scythe had that bubble on it. And I really hope Raids 3 is more tough. But that means it's gonna come in more time.
Yeah.
Because like the way the community is now, there's no content that can come out that doesn't get just absolutely demolished in terms of knowledge.
Yep.
We know everything about every piece of, and it doesn't help that everything has to be pulled. I, I fucking, this is not a hot take, but the polling system needs to be changed to
Yeah.
be 2 updates a month. One being the major update from the poll from the last month, the second update being fixes that need to happen the week after. And then, hot fixes or cold fixes can happen in between those two time periods, but everything should be smoothed out in that week time. And they should have that one more update to kind of refresh the servers, make sure everything is in line. Then we get another, 2 week period because we're already voting on that next month's poll, or have it on a 6 week period so that like the update happens week one, the second update for all the smoothing out happens week two. Then we have 4 weeks of playing the new content that comes out. That way, there's enough time that's spent into it that it can be intricate enough, or there's enough content that comes out that we have stuff to do for 4 weeks. Because, like, when I played all day, every day, I used to care so much about this game. I used to watch every Q&A, look at everything that was happening, read every blog. I cared about what was happening in the game. Now I don't want to spend the time caring about what's happening, and then when it comes into the game, I'm like, well, that is a shitty update. Like this bow that's coming out, that's such a fucking shitty update. Why are we letting Reddit like rule this game? Why can't the devs also rule the game? Like they're the ones that develop this game, then take feedback from what they put in the game and change it accordingly. I think the whole polling system's really flawed on how it is.
Yeah. There is definitely issues, but there's what would like be the most optimal. It's really hard to say what would.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
the most
definitely.
optimal way would be to for Jagex to put more money into it, which they're not going to do.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like there is a
But
better way to do it, but it requires like actual energy and resources and stuff by Jagex's end, so they're not going to do that.
yeah, I guess my hot take is really just like you work high level community complains about no high level content, but the high level community is only getting smaller and smaller. So like the people that are going to be completing this high level content is just not a big enough uh you know amount of players for it to matter to Jagex.
I think combat achievements haven't come out yet, but I think that is going to be. And I know
I
people are like you said. The hot take is just it's so annoying when people are just like raids 3, raids 3, raids 3. I don't care about anything
Yeah,
else. Raids 3. But
yeah.
I think combat achievements are going to be for that very very top niche of people that are just super high level and just love the seeing how far they can push the game because combat achievements are going to be like there's going to be a lot of time trials and stuff like that and
I
other
think they're going to be great. I think they're
yeah
going to be
just
really
other
great.
crazy things on how to do pre-existing content, and I think that'll at least satisfy them, and they can flex it as well. So
Yep. Yeah. I do think that'll help out with the high level burn right now. The lack of content to do is that there's a lack of trying to do new content. A lot of people that do like, 4,000 Tob KC, it's all they want to do is Tob main account. All they can do is make money at Tob. Well, have you flicked Bandos? Like that shit is fun, bro.
yeah,
That shit is I go in
there's
there and
people that
I'm
have done
like,
4,000 tops and have like no solo chambers experience either. A lot
yeah,
of
that
people.
solo chambers is so much fun too,
Yeah,
and optimizing it is so good.
so addicting.
Also, I think it's a more competitive scene for holding records. You do not need plugins to do records where like Tob plugins are so fucking broken. Like, Bro, I load into a maze and it's fucking displayed for me. Like the whole fucking maze is displayed for me, and my partner just runs down fucking mid, and then we just run the maze into so. Oh, we got the world record soak, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, cheat client.
Yep.
Like, it's just bizarre to me that a competitive scene on records like that is being cheated. Is basically it.
It's
Whereas like,
really, yeah. Well, and there's some things that I personally believe shouldn't be against the rules, like monsters completely just going away
oh
when they're
yeah,
dead. That's
oh my, wait, are you gonna play on the Steam client if they add that?
wait, are they planning to add that?
I don't remember what maybe it was Chungus said something, but they said something about not removing the death animations, but making it so they're not clickable. Like you click onto the
Okay.
next
I
NPC
don't know
below
why
it.
they would just do that with Steam client. I understand why they do it. It's a business move, but like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
let let RuneLight have it, because here's the thing with me is RuneLight, I cannot go away from RuneLight until some other client has what they have with XBR and stretched fix mode,
Mm-hmm.
GPU, all that shit.
Yep. Yep.
There's no way I could play this game without RuneLight now. I'm too
Yeah.
addicted.
Yeah, no, I agree. 100% agree.
But yeah, like there's things that shouldn't be cheats, and like you things with like numbers on them, something like TOB where like Verzik's attack numbers will be
Oh
displayed
yeah.
or something. But
Click.
it's like, what's the difference between I mean, it's like, where do you draw the line? Because for example, clues, every single thing is solved. Like,
You know what I couldn't believe is when the hot and cold step got solved on RuneLight. I could not. I actually enjoyed doing those hot and cold steps on Masters because it was like a scavenger hunt, and if you knew where the locations were from other clues, you got to like do it faster.
yeah,
And it was about like the more time you
yeah,
spent doing it. Now it's like, oh, teleport to Mauritania, click twice, walk once, click again, teleport to Karen. Okay, not Karen. Teleport to the crafting guild. Oh, it's in Canifis, or it's in Missalin.
yeah.
Like really? There's like
It's
no fun
it's
in
so
it.
hard to say like where you draw the line though, because would you like to like look up manually the coordinate steps every single time? Like, is that fun? Like
No,
using your
no.
sextant? Imagine that, like actually using that shit.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine fucking using a goddamn. I don't know how to fucking use that thing.
Like,
I'm
imagine
not
this.
gonna learn.
Imagine they came out with completely randomized coordinate steps where every single one is completely random, so there's not like predetermined ones. It's like,
That
no,
would be
every single time you need to use
incredible.
your sextant and compass or
Yeah.
whatever.
I mean, that would be incredible in the sense of like people would actually be playing the game rather than looking at resources
Yeah,
outside of it.
clue uniques
But
would shoot up.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
nobody would do clues anymore. No,
I
but
think
it's just so hard. It's so hard to say like where do you draw the line, because there's so many plugins that are so good, that are so busted, but they make the
hmm
game so much more like, I don't know, fun.
playable,
Yeah,
literally just playable. Like GPU for instance, the draw distance. Imagine you log in and you can see what's it, 15 tiles in each direction and then it's just a void.
yeah, it's horrible.
Really? Like you guys can't make a draw distance bigger than that? It's I don't know.
And it's just a
I
black screen behind it. Like, I have the sky view now, and it's like the little sky
yeah.
color. I kind of like that. I wasn't actually a big fan of it initially, but
Yeah,
I like it.
I don't know how I feel about it cuz like I don't know. I don't know. I
It's
don't
not
like
that
changing
old.
much.
It's not that old school feel.
Yeah, I just don't like changing much. And it's not like I play the game for the old school feel, but I really don't like changing a lot of shit that's going
Yeah,
on. So, I
that's
don't.
fair. All right, who is
Oh, yeah.
who is your
Fucking
current favorite booba streamer?
I had to think about this, but it's Ignoble Solid. That's the one person I can watch. I just watch them all at once. So,
Oh god. All right, ignoble. Don't see some flushed emotes in the chat. All right. Let's see. We got a bunch of different topics. We got a bunch of weird shit. Okay, friend zones. Like, okay, we're not even gonna cover some of these until we cover the more like meat and potatoes. But he says, "Do you possibly accept kisses on the lips from strangers in game?" Of course. Yeah, like I'm saying, we're gonna cover more of the meat and potatoes first. But
yeah, I mean, this one, I don't know. I killed the stranger from Desert Treasure. I killed him like instantly, you
oh
know?
god, so you're taking it
So,
literally.
oh, yeah. He kissed me at theater once, and I didn't know how I felt about it. It wasn't consensual. I'm not gonna press charges or anything, but I got to get to know him first.
All right.
So,
Mez asks, what is your favorite aspect about streaming? How is it like growing up being the youngest child? Favorite music genre? How often do you masturbate? I've never had that topic. BCP when? So we'll start from the top. What is your favorite aspect about streaming?
chat, 100% chat. There's no reason for me to go live and you know there's no reason for me to go live if I'm not getting shit talked by my chat, or there's not a bunch of like 1,000 sound commands going off at once where I just have this insane chaos in my head. It's just so much fun, just interacting with chat. Also, like, I work 8 hours and I come home and I'm tired. I press go live and 5 people pop up in chat, and it's just like energy is just given to me. So that's like, there's like an energy I get from just interacting with chat that I just love.
That's awesome.
Uh, the second question, growing up being the youngest, that is, you know what? It taught me to be, I won't even say like an asshole, but it taught me to be stern when you gotta be. 'Cause my brothers would fucking beat the shit out, and they were like 11 years older than me. They're beating the shit out of me when I'm like 8 or 9. I also remember like my brother was playing WoW, and he's fighting a bear, and he's like, "Oh, this bastard! He didn't know I was behind him." And I was like 7 or 8 or something. And I was like, "Get that bastard!" And he just turned around and popped me right across the face. And was like, "If you ever repeat that in front of mom and dad, I'm gonna do way worse." And just, oh man, I learned a lot being the youngest. It was like, do not follow anything your brothers do. So, but yeah, being the youngest kind of sucked. Um,
So how many other siblings do you have if it's not too personal?
or I'm the youngest of five.
Okay.
So I have a sister is closest to me at 5 years older, and then all my other brothers are a 9 years older than me, 14 years older than me, and then 18 years older than me. So
Wow.
yeah,
So
it's a
what
big,
so your parent
big
what
gaps.
are you considered like an oops? Like 5 years after the last child, just kind
Um,
of like, or was it planned
they never planned having a child, right? They
at
knew they were gonna
all?
have some at all.
Oh wow.
They never said like, oh, let's have a kid. They just fucked. So, and that's
Shit
horrible because that's my
happens.
parents. Yeah, that's my parents that I'm talking about. But I actually wouldn't be born if they had two miscarriages between my third oldest brother and my sister and I.
Oh
So if
wow.
either one of those kids lived, I would not be here because they only wanted five max. So, but they also said they told me they wanted four max. Um, but I think my dad was
Just
just
you. They
fucking
just
with
told
me.
you we only wanted four.
Well, no, I think my dad was just fucking with me because I was like, "Did you guys really want five kids? Like, that's a lot of shitheads running." I was like, I think I was 13 and we were at like some like church event. I was like, "That's a lot of shitheads running around," because there was like, my mom's friend just had their third kid, and I was like, "That's way too many kids. Like, how did you guys have five?" And he was just like, "Well, we only planned to have four, but then your ass showed up," and I was like, "Ah, man, I was an accident."
I
Kevin
almost
was right. So
I almost feel like when there's a child that's 18 years older than like the youngest one, it's almost like, geez, you really want to just raise another kid like after you just
yeah,
fully raised
yeah.
one?
Well, that one was really fucked up, and like he was about a he when I was born he moved to Boston. He just left. He was like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here."
Wow.
So like they knew they fucked up on that guy, so they were just looking for another chance, and here I am. So
Well, shit. Yeah,
yeah.
there's. I can't imagine what it would be like to be a parent. First of all, I don't know if it would.
Oh, whew.
Yeah,
Count me
like
out of that shit. Are you kidding me?
I
I've been an uncle since I was 3 years old because my oldest brother's 18, or 18 years older than me. So when he had his first kid, he was 21 and I was 3.
wow.
And yeah, I grew up around those kids. And then my sister and my second oldest brother just had their first kids 3 and almost 4 years ago now. So it's like I got to grow up with kids, and now I get to, watch them when they need somebody to watch the kids. I watch the kids because, I'm the fun uncle. I give them a bunch of sweets, and then I pass them off to the parents, and they get to fucking deal with them.
Yep.
And I love it. It's great. It's a good time. But if I had to, oh my God, when they were younger too, when they just like start crying for no reason
Yep.
because they're just like
Just
uncomfortable, it's just like,
get me out of here. I'm gone.
if I could just like punch you and it not be a felony, I fucking would. I literally would. That's just what I was thinking. So, yeah, having kids just sounds like not a great time, but watching kids sounds like free money, honestly.
Yeah. No. Okay. So favorite music genre. Go there.
I don't know. I fucking love all music. In high school, I listened to like only rap and hip hop. Before high school, I listened to like rock and roll. Uh, Out of high school, I listened to fuck. I don't know. Listen to everything, and then I started watching RuneScape Twitch, and then all of a sudden I listened to D&B. So I'll tell you, my favorite genre is not D&B. That is just oversaturated. It was good at first. Recently, I could say, what the fuck am I listening to? It's just the same, bass line and snares, just over and over and over, and kicks. That's it. House is amazing. Especially Uncle, like I started listening to House maybe like 2 months before I found Uncle's stream. And then I found Uncle's stream and I was like, oh my God, there's so much good house music. And then I started hanging out with Uncle in Discord and I was like, oh my God, there is even more good house music. But I switch it up like every day. I'll listen to house, I'll listen to, that fucking mainstream electronic Millennium shit, the uh I don't know how to describe it. There's like the very strong vocals. I
Yeah.
listen to punk rock, listen to just like oldie jammers. I listen to anything that sounds good. My favorite genre is music that sounds good. That's it.
Yeah. No, I'm a huge fan of Uncle's. Whenever I go into an Uncle stream, it is the most unique music, and it's so
Mm-hmm.
good.
Dude, oh my, you just unique. Talk about unique. I'm fucking driving to work and he used to stream at like the most nocturnal hours. So I wake up at 4 in the morning, West Coast, to get ready and go to work by 6. I'll like take a shower, make breakfast, eat and work out. And I'm listening to Unk stream on the way to work and I just hear it's a fucking phone going off in this song, but it just is so mesmerizing behind these fucking this bass line and these like subtle snares and it's like, oh my God, it's just so good. And I'll never forget like I looked at my phone because I was at a red light, like I was driving to work. I looked at my phone. He's like walking out of Maiden and going towards Bloat, and he's just like, "Damn, I better answer the phone." I was just dying, dude. Oh
Dude,
man.
there is something so beautiful about music when you find a track that is just like, this is the best track I've ever heard in my entire life. And then you know though that it's not going to be in like a week. Like you're going to over listen to it or something.
Yep. Yeah.
But and then you're like, nothing could ever top this. And then something tops it. Like,
Yep.
and you're like, holy shit. Like, I thought I had already found the most glorious tune of all time, but I don't know.
Honestly.
There's something so beautiful about like just finding such good music that gives you the chills.
Oh my God, yeah. I,
Dude.
I also used to listen to a lot of classical because I played piano in high school.
Oh yeah.
So that was like I loved classical music and that is where I got most of my chills from is just listening to like these people made these songs fucking 300 plus years ago and like they sound so fucking it sounds like this was written by fucking T-Pain and Usher and like they just like picked the best notes out of the
Yep.
entire scale and it's
Yep.
like this was 300 plus years ago. This dude was deaf making this.
Yeah.
Like
No, it's
insane.
what's also so I used to be in choir and we sang a few songs and we'd go to like all these events and stuff. Like our choir won state. We were like a 6A school and stuff, and we would win state
Oh, that's
most
awesome.
years. And so we had just had a super huge music program like where I grew up, and uh, So we would go to these events where like we're with the top high schools, and they were all just incredible. And there was a few songs that I would like. You would listen to them, and they're really I guess they're more like religious songs.
Hmm.
But they're so they would give you the chills, like
Oh, dude,
so
yeah.
hardcore, and it's something. Okay, so this is for the music people out there. Anybody else is probably like, what the hell are you guys talking about? But it's something where the sopranos are singing a super high note, and then you hear the altos like
Yes.
slowly
Yeah.
descending almost, or it's just like,
Yep.
oh, like it's like immaculate, dude. It'll like just a rush of chills would just run down my body every time. And there was this one song called Magnificat, and every single time we sang it, like we would sing it, and every single time we hit this one part, I'd be singing, and it was like a super loud part, and I would literally have a rush of chills go down my body every single time.
Yeah.
I was like, how is this happening? Like, this isn't like a placebo effect where it's like I'm causing this on my own. Like this, I will straight up be like, I don't want to get the chills this time, and I
Yep.
still would. So
Yeah.
I understood like this is like these are like literal chemicals in my brain causing this. Like,
Yeah, that happened to me like not even chills, but like literally like tears running down out of my eyes. I was at a I don't know if it was like a classical performance, but I was in the seventh grade and they were like, "We're gonna go on a field trip," and I didn't look at what it was for or anything. I was just like, "Yep, sign me up. Field trip, not in school. Bang, okay." We went there and we sat for like 45 minutes. I was sitting there like, "Dude, I'm gonna fall asleep. Like this is so boring." And then like the cymbal fucking clangs and all of the band starts playing at like one tick. They all start playing and it's just like I was mesmerized, dude. I was fucking mesmerized. And I love video game music a fucking lot. That's actually probably my favorite genre. You know what? I'm gonna call that my favorite genre because no matter what I'm doing, I could be driving my fucking car on the freeway. I'll listen to video game music because it's just so good.
is it like the nostalgia? Okay, so I played this game called Legend of Dragoon on the PlayStation
Hmm.
One,
Hmm.
and there's a soundtrack like on Spotify and stuff, and it's very shitty quality because it's a PlayStation One game. But
Yeah.
there are such good songs on there that give me the chills, and it's video game music, and it's like, but it's the nostalgia, I think, that
You know
comes
what's
along
funny
with
about
it.
that is I'll listen to 8-bit music unironically because it's just I love like Mega Man 2 soundtrack is 8-bit.
Yeah.
It is so good. Just hearing like the way the way that the sounds just like I don't even know how to describe it. The way that the sounds are so shitty, it's just so good. The fact that they're making
Yeah.
like it sound that good with the limitations of it being 8-bit is incredible to me. And like that was what I was listening to basically when I was born. Because my brothers would just when they had to babysit me, they would just put me on the bed surrounded in pillows and they just play the NES or the Nintendo 64. I was born in 97
Yeah.
and my fucking uncle got them a Nintendo 64 and it was super expensive. And my mom was like, "You shouldn't have done that. They don't need any more games. Like they have an NES." And like then I just basically got to watch video games growing up and the music from them is just incredible. But when what I was saying about the concert that I went to, it was like maybe like 2 minutes in, and like I don't even remember what fucking song it was. I think it was a Chopin song that they were playing, and like tears just started running down my eyes, and my teacher was like, "Do you need to? Are you okay? Like, is this? What's wrong?" And I was like, "I don't. It's just good."
Like shut the fuck up. I'm
I was
having
like,
a moment.
yeah. I was like, it's just good. Like, I want to do this every year, and like, I'd love to go. Um, I would love to go to a video game music concert, like Final Fantasy. Like, I don't know if you've seen the videos of like when they play like the opening. It's called like bombing scene or something. Let's see, opening. Yeah, opening bombing mission, and it's like, oh man, just like when the strings come in, it's like dun and I want to be in the crowd and just like feel that like the bass hit you is
Yeah.
basically it. Just it'd be amazing.
I used to listen to a lot of like alternative music, super like
Hmm.
indie stuff when I was in high school. We went to a few concerts, and yeah, there's just something about music. It doesn't matter what you're listening to, as long as you're like into it. Anything can give you the chills.
Yep.
Like those crazy moments where it's almost like profound. It's like you can like discover things about you in life just listening to some sounds. It's weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just like a frequency.
Yeah.
This frequency enters your ears, and then like tears start running down your cheeks, or you start feeling a certain way. It's like that weird, that weird feeling that you used to get for summer vacation in your stomach. I don't know if you've got that, but I think you were describing it when you were playing RuneScape. Every time you played RuneScape and you heard that one track, it was like
Yep.
you thought of summer. Well, like for me, every time I thought of summer and like it was getting close to summer vacation as a kid, I got that like stomach feeling of like I'm gonna have so much time to play games and you know
Yeah.
go fucking squirt guns and shit. Like I don't know. It's
Dude,
just
summer
ah.
was so good back in the day, back in like middle school and stuff.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
amazing.
yeah, nah, it's kind of weird because like a lot of us listening are very into video games, and
Hmm.
I feel like a lot of us are introverts. Like, what would you consider yourself, an introvert or an extrovert?
Uh, I'm like this weird. I'm this weird like introvert until somebody gets me going.
Yep. Well, I
Once
don't even think
somebody
that's
gets me
weird because
going,
I don't think that's weird at all because a lot of people say they're the exact same way. So it's like
yeah,
almost
yeah,
normal to be that way. But yeah, go
yeah.
on.
But I can never just like go out and just like pop off. Like I gotta have like a guy hype me up, you know? Like
Yep.
somebody's gotta like be like, bro, we're already here in the moment. Like just fucking send it, and I'll just be like. You're right. What am I like worried about? What am I doing if I'm not just like full sending it and I'll just do whatever? Like last time I went to the club, I was like just like sitting there nodding my head to music and then he's like, "Dude, why don't you just get up and dance, bro? You're already here. Music. Yeah, I know you're feeling the music, bro. I see your head bopping." I was like, "I can get up and dance, bro. You want to see me fucking dance, bro?" Like I was drunk as shit too and yeah, definitely helps being drunk.
Yeah. Now I'm the same way. I'm an introvert, but I could literally be totally happy sitting in my room for an entire week, not say a word,
Uh-huh.
not
100%.
say a single word. But I'm also very happy as well when I get to like stream and be interactive and stuff like that. And I don't really go out much anymore, but my brothers will have like work parties and stuff, and friends from work, and they'll invite me to like poker nights or stuff, and I same old. It's just like I'll go there, I'll be kind of quiet until like you just pop off, and then it's like
Yep.
you're in your
Yep.
element.
Yeah, it's like it's a different element that you get to experience that I do enjoy. It's just not that I seek it like I do. I seek just fucking wanting to sit here and chill out, listen to music and play games. And if you watch my stream, you will definitely not get the whole introverted thing because I fucking love yelling at the top of my lungs. So
Yeah, but there's balance to it, and so
yep,
anybody that is kind of the similar way understands like it's the same thing with Fat Clouds. Like Fat Clouds is one of those people that people literally think Fat Clouds is like crazy, like
yeah,
like. But if you've ever listened to him in a Discord call when he's not streaming, he is just
he's so
so
chill,
laid back,
bro.
so chill.
He's so laid back. We were playing like Jackbox one night in his Discord, and he was just sitting there, and we're like, "Yo, like Fatty C, you want to join?" He's like, "I'm just killing Vorkath, man."
I know
Just doing his
he's
thing.
completely different. He's like, but
Yeah.
it's like it's almost comforting to see because sometimes I think to myself, I'm like, man, I really need to like be more entertaining or I need to like interact more and stuff. But you got to understand everyone has, I
Oh
don't know,
yeah.
almost like their limits. Like they can be
Yeah.
super exciting and stuff, but they also have to like chill out.
100%. And I respect the people that play or that stream and just game. Like they don't need to do anything other than just game.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
I think there's like a few reasons that people start streaming. Like like some people want to stream because they see it can make good money. Some people like they want to build their own brand. Like for instance, like Safiro. I think he's done a great thing. I'm not gonna say like what he does for work is like revolutionary or what like uh he's like a personal what would you call it personal
It's like an
a
what
consultant or like
is it
he's
like a
like
life coach?
offering Yeah, life coach, life coach. He's offering like life advice. Now I think like some people could take advantage of that, and those are the people that like bathe in vegetable oil and Himalayan salts and just want to tell you like what to do with your future. But I do think that Saf has like a good head on his shoulders. But he
Yeah.
used his stream to build like this base of a business for himself, and I truly admire him for that. And there's people like Ludwig that when he started streaming, he did not want anything to do with like the friendships or anything. He just wanted to make money and make a business. I totally think that's, streaming has available like avenues for that. And then there's other people that start streaming where they're just like, I'm pretty fucking good at this game. I'm just gonna stream it. Like Exact, for instance. Exact is just a god at this game, so he just streams it because people want to see him be a fucking god at this game. Same with like Wooks. And then there's, I'd say personality streamers where you have, you know, maybe not the best gaming content, but they have a personality that you want to watch. And you also have the in between where they go live because they want to get better at the game and they want, like Tip Rickety to come in and tell them how to solo raid. That was like me. I wanted to get better when I started playing, and streaming definitely helped because there's people to come in and help me out. So I feel like there's all these avenues of why people start streaming, but at the end of the day, where am I even going? Where am I go? What
I
were we
think
talking about?
I think we were going with like, um, you just like it when people can just game. Like we were talking about Fat
Yeah,
Clouds just being.
yeah. They just
Yeah,
be themselves in
I
the
agree.
game.
And like I could list off a bunch of streamers that I feel like stream to stream rather than stream to game, but then there's streamers that game to stream. There's no particular right way, but
Yep.
obviously we all have our own preferences. I
Hmm.
prefer a gamer that or a streamer that just loves the game and loves the grind because you know that they won't, I don't know, almost like burn out or just kind of like be like, all right, I'm done with video games.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm done with this. This was never my thing anyway. Video games. That's why I love Twitch. Is like it's a video game streaming platform initially,
Yeah.
at least.
That's why I was insanely surprised to see Automology just kind of. I don't remember what update it was, but he just stopped playing, started like focusing on his life and stuff, and commend anybody who feels that they need to, you know, take a step back to focus on their life
Yeah.
because it's really important. And also, I would say right now, if I didn't have the balance of having like a full-time job to occupy my time, I would be lost with what I'm doing in life. Like, I don't know like what I would be able to do other than go get a job to like make my time feel as valuable as it is or as valuable as it feels when I do log on. Like I'm like I don't want to waste the time of
Yeah.
like finding a team. I'm gonna go solo raid, or I do want to stream. I'm gonna go do bandos. So like that balance definitely helps me feel like I'm not burning out, even though I might be burnt as fuck. It just helps me feel like I can't burn out basically.
Yeah. Yeah. And as soon as I don't know if anyone ever has, I'm assuming most people listening to this have burnt out, but when you come back and then you have that like realization that okay, the next time I burn out, let me remember this feeling where
Yep.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm not actually burnt. I just need a break. Like let's
Yep.
not chuck the whole bank and de-iron and all this shit. Let's just log out, calm down for a little bit, and then
Yep.
you'll get the feeling again. The other,
Just go play Skyrim. You go play Skyrim for, quick playthrough, unburnt right away.
yeah, no, seriously, play any other game. Like sometimes
Yep.
I'll literally just log out, play a round of chess or something. I really like chess. I'm really bad at it, but
Hmm.
it's one of those games where it's like there's no RNG involved. It's just you,
Yep.
and
It's just
I really enjoy
yeah,
that.
the
It's really
brains.
stressful though when you're playing some guy like online and he's just crazy good, just randomly. Like it's almost like he just started, but he already knows what he's doing, so his elo's lower than like his actual skill. It's horrible.
Yeah.
You just get
I
wrecked.
have a point redeem that is get your elo taken in a game of chess. I have yet to win a game of chess that anybody has redeemed on that. So
Yeah. No, so so what's kind of interesting, you brought up automelogy, and this isn't really necessarily about automelogy, but I feel like people that it's almost like individuals that never really got to experience a life outside of video games
Hmm.
tend to eventually have that moment in their life where they're like, all right, I gotta, this is all I know, where it's just been video games my whole life. Like growing, like, for example, like you'll start gaming in middle school and go throughout high school, and then you're in college still gaming, and you almost feel like there's something better out there. And
Yep.
so you eventually hit that point where it's like, okay, I gotta like stop. For me and for others as well, where you almost like have experienced what life can be without video games. And that's not to say, oh, it's like, oh, I was a you know non-video game player for this period of my life, but like I don't. It's almost like I have a more well-rounded view on like I truly enjoy video games. Like this is just something I enjoy. Like I love playing RuneScape, and me thinking, oh, I don't actually enjoy this. This is just all I know.
Yeah.
That's not true. Like I actually enjoy this, and when I do things, when I do social things, a lot of social things, I just eventually just want to go back to playing RuneScape. So
Yeah.
um, I I don't feel like I'm missing anything because I've experienced other things. I've given my chance to experience other things. So the people that like truly like burn out and stuff and like feel like RuneScape is causing this darkness in their life, it's because there's not enough balance. But you can,
Oh,
I
100%.
don't know.
I also loved what Defy said on the cast when you had him on. He said if you feel bad about not logging into the game, you need to stop playing that game. Like when he was talking about dailies on RS3, if you feel bad that you aren't logging in to collect your dailies, why are you logging in at all? Why don't you go do something that makes you feel good
Yeah,
when you do it instead of feeling bad when you don't?
yeah,
It's
that's a
just
good point.
Yeah, that will like forever stick with me because I've definitely done some shit I did not want to do. Not saying like RuneScape related or anything, but like there's definitely shit I didn't want to do that I just did because I was in the routine of doing it. And that's like when I played Dota. I played like 8 hours of Dota a day, and that just kills you after a long day of work, and then you get on to play Dota, and it's just
So
utter shit.
I'm actually a little bit curious on those games like League of Legends and Dota. I've never played them. What is so? What is the thing that pulls people into playing those? Because all I've heard is that it's just a rage fest. Like
You
you're
know
just
what?
pissed off the entire time.
I don't know. I'm getting mad thinking about it. My first game, I went 0 and 36. I died 36 times, and I was like, "This is awesome. I don't know what's happening, but it's awesome." And then I just kept playing. I think really what it is though is there's like a dopamine aspect when you get, decent to the point where you're like pulling off combos with your hero or other heroes or champs, where like you like stun lock somebody until they die, and that's just a good feeling because like that guy had no chance of living because we just played so well.
So is it
Or
is are games like that? What are they called exactly?
MOBAs.
MOBAs. There's the word. Are those games RNG based or is it truly just skill?
It's truly just skill.
Okay,
That's
that's
probably the
respectable.
other aspect. There used to be like in Dota, there used to be a dire side advantage where like if you spawn on one side of the map, you had a higher advantage of winning because you were closer to like a objective that you would go claim after like 13 minutes or something. So like the win rate was 51-49, but then they like changed the map around so it's like 50-50, and it's truly just, and I would even say it's, not RNG based, but it's uh you have to pick correctly. You have to pick the right heroes because
Yeah.
there's like heroes that hard counter other heroes. So like you have like some heroes that deal massive crit damage. Well, you have some heroes that deal mirror damage. So when they get hit for like this massive crit, they deal all back and stun the enemy. So it's like you really have to have like a brain for the game. That game gets way too intricate though, because there's like so many spells to track and items to track. That's also another thing that at least I liked about it was that you have to manage like your time in your head on what's going on the field. So like when somebody uses a spell, you're like, okay, well I have 12 seconds to engage before they have that spell up again and they can stun me. So it's like you're constantly thinking about what's happening, and I like that challenge of like trying to remember everything that's going on.
Yeah. So it is pretty much like skill versus skill. Like you're against a team. Like
Yes. Yeah,
that's
100%.
that's cool. And I feel like that's almost like the little bit I've played chess where
Oh yeah.
it's
Yeah.
almost like it's so enraging. Like it's so nice when you win.
Oh,
But
it's such a good feeling when
yeah.
you checkmate somebody.
Oh
Oh
yeah.
my god.
Oh yeah, but what's
Oh.
horrible is like when you get dominated, or another thing that pisses me off is like people can just abandon their games if you're winning. Like if it's
Yep.
clear you're about to win, they will just
Just
abandon the game and just
resign.
let
Yeah.
the like 5 minutes run down. Like, come on, dude. Like that pisses me
Ugh.
off as well.
Yeah,
But
don't play against Zert Nerd. He does that if he's losing.
yeah, no. I mean, to be fair, I've done it a few times, but I had a valuable lesson. I had a valuable lesson where I don't know, it was like an eye-opening experience where I was just like, you know what? This is going to be a test of my own patience and my own, I guess, love for another person that I don't know. You know what? The next time I'm just horribly losing, I'm just going to be so humble and just resign. And honestly,
Yep.
every time I've done that, I just feel a lot better. I'm like, you know what?
Well, you're not wasting the
My
time.
rage did not
Yeah.
get the best of me. Like
Yep.
that makes me feel, it feels like I'm improving as a human being to like not
Yeah.
just take everything so fucking personally. Just like, you fucking bitch, you
Yeah.
checkmated me, like you're about to checkmate me. Like, just calm down, take a breath,
I don't think I've
resign.
ever gotten as mad though when you stalemate. When somebody stalemates you, oh my God, it's the best feeling ever. You're down to a king and
Oh
you just
yeah.
move into the one spot and then you're like, please
They're
move your
like
queen to
rushing. They're like
E3.
rushing their moves.
Yep.
So, yep.
Yep. Please move your queen E3. They move queen E3 and it's a stalemate. It's just like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. And then you stalemate somebody, you're like not thinking clearly. You have a
Oh
rook and a
yeah.
queen. You stalemate and you're just like, I this was a win. This was a win
Yep.
and I'm gonna throw my phone at the wall so fucking hard right
Or
now.
like you make one move and it's just as soon as you make the move, you see that was just a horrible
Oh my
blunder, and it's just
oh my
you just
God.
want to like, it's just bad.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I'm making a new account. Yep, that's what I'm right after that move, new account.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. How often do you masturbate? I've never gotten
Okay.
this question, but you know what? It's a human.
I'm not a human.
You're
Just so
not.
you
You're
know.
not human. You're above human.
I fucking masturbate a lot, dude. Like a fucking lot. It's bad. It is.
Hey, I mean, at
It's
least you're
probably
honest.
it's probably to the point where I need to like either seek help or like take a step back. But like,
Jesus, dude.
dude, I wake up in the morning. It's like before work. I'm like, nah, gotta masturbate. After work, gotta masturbate. Before stream, gotta masturbate. I don't
Jesus
like admitting
Christ.
this, but sometimes midstream I say, "Yo, guys, I'm gonna go take a shit." Nah, I'm not taking a shit. I'm fucking
Holy.
masturbating, bro. Dude, especially if I get frustrated. If I get frustrated, it's just like I need to like take out my anger but feel good about it. And I can't like just break something because like dude, I used to break a lot of keyboards. Just like the lights on the keyboard just look so good to punch. And like it's also just like content. Like there's a clip of me where like I'm doing a raid and I died at Ulm. I slam my keyboard. I'm like, oh no! My fucking Bang energy drink spills onto my keyboard, and then I'm slurping it up for like 3 seconds. Like that shit was one of the funniest clips. Like I used to watch all my clips. After every stream, I'd go like watch all the clips that were taken. I laughed for like 15 minutes at watching that clip. I was just sitting in my bed, just
Jesus.
fucking giggling. But I don't know. I love like that's why I loved watching XQC. When he rages, it's just so funny because it's like that momentary thing where he's like pissed off, but then like 2 seconds later he's fine. And that's
Yeah,
exactly how I am.
that's funny.
But yeah, I'd say an average number is probably five a day.
That is insane. So I remember reading something on Google.
You're gonna tell me I'm an addict.
Apparently, this is weird for me because there's no way I could do more than twice in a day. Like I would feel like I'm just like spewing dust at that point. Like there's nothing
Shooting
like, yeah,
blanks.
like what's going on? No, but like to answer this question, if you're asking me, Maz, it differs, but I would say recently and over the past, I'd say a couple of years, yeah, it's about 4 times a week. You got to let it build up a little bit, but I know. So what I read on Google is like everyone's different, and apparently you can do it like. What I read was the number was like you can do it like 4 times a day, and just it's totally normal. But just some people are built different, I guess. But Jesus, there's no way I would ever do it more than twice in a day. That
I
sounds
could do
horrible.
it. I could probably do it more than 5 times a day, but like, I haven't tried. I'm not at the point of sexually frustrated where I need to do that many times. And it may seem like I am, but it's not like I'm like, oh, I gotta have sex, bro. I gotta fucking masturbate because I can't have sex. It's not like it's just like I could go for a wank. Like that's kind of my thought process on it.
Yeah, interesting. That's crazy.
Well,
Like I don't know. Like this is just not a question that's brought up, and so it's interesting to hear like true honesty about the topic because I
oh
feel like
yeah,
a
I
lot of
talk.
people would just be a little bit like not going to admit it fully, but
I just talk about it openly. I don't give a shit.
yeah,
I my personality of what I'm open with, I hardly give a shit about anything. So it's like the things that I do give a shit about, I'm very tiptoey when I talk about them. Like I don't cross on politics rarely often because well, I only have ideas based off of ideas that I've heard from other people's ideas. So it's not like my ideas are any good to share and then what I believe in doesn't fucking matter to anybody else. Like
yeah.
people could think 99% of what I think politically, and then that 1% is what they want to talk about because it's different. It's like I
And
don't
yeah, just
care.
talking about politics in general is just literally causes anger in our
Yeah. Yeah.
generations. It's just like, dude, it's
Yeah.
just literally not even worth mentioning anything about it.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah.
And
My brother loves to just go on like Reddit and like look for things that are like super political and just
yeah.
basically spend hours on his phone just getting pissed off. I'm like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah,
Like I
one of my
understand like it's kind of enjoyable to like watch this crazy shit that's happening, but geez, you gotta give your brain a break.
Oh yeah, one of my IRL friends just goes on Reddit to political pages just to put his input in, which he knows nobody agrees with. So, like, shout out him for just being that asshole that's keeping your brother up at night. But you
Yeah.
know, like, I don't know what the energy invested is really worth if you're not.
It makes it
I would,
so the thing about politics is it makes it the world just feel so black and white. Like it
yeah,
just makes it feel like everyone's either like super like, I don't know. It's just like
I also,
people are
I just,
decent when you just
yeah,
aren't basing things off politics.
I don't get the investment to politics other than if you're an active speaker about it, you're looking to be, you know, a political, like, what do you call it, representative yourself, or, uh, I guess you could say, like, if you're, I would go back to being like a public speaker. If you want to share your views on why things that are happening in, you know, political areas are bad or good, I just don't see the need to be that invested.
Yeah.
And
And I
I
respect
mean,
people that share their opinions, but it's so
yeah,
hard to like not make it become like hostile. Like
yeah, it is. It does get like a very hostile environment,
yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah, it's never worth bringing up. And it's just one of those things, especially nowadays, where it's just
Oh yeah.
you can misspeak one
Yeah.
time and it can just get recorded and displayed everywhere. Like seriously, dude, I'm
Mm-hmm.
very blessed to have like a really beautiful community that's just like super helpful and just kind and shit. Because
Yeah.
imagine like you got too famous too quick or something, and you just like it almost like Ice Poseidon status where it's like everybody's in there just trolling like just hardcore, like they don't actually care about you at
Yeah.
all. They just fucking want to see you. Just they want to see chaos,
Yep.
and then like
Yeah.
anything can be taken out of context and like yeah, that shit's scary now. Like it actually it scares me because you know how I live now is
Yeah.
based off the internet and what people
Oh,
like.
couldn't. Yeah, I can
Yeah, you just gotta
imagine.
like watch it big time, which is kind of a
Yeah.
shame because I almost really wish I could just be completely honest about a lot of like hot takes and stuff, but it's just not worth it ever for me to
Not
talk
at all.
about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'd
No, I
almost
get
want
it.
like a super like private like Sae Bae rambles, like super private where I could just I think I almost like don't even release them because as soon as they're released by one, if somebody were to like pay the fee to listen to them, they're just gonna share into other people anyway. But
You know
it
what you gotta do is just make like a super low key alias, download voice mod, use a voice changer, and
true.
then just like express your views and then post them on like the most low key subreddits and just that's it. And then
Yeah,
you get the satisfaction of getting your hot takes out, but you don't have to like do it at the expense of like some of your
yourself.
active listeners
Yeah.
being like disappointed with what
Yeah,
your hot
and
takes are.
the other thing is I've always understood like sometimes something's really appealing to comment on initially. Like it just feels like I need to like get this out. But when you just
Yeah.
take a break, just get off the internet for a couple hours, you're like, all right, I'm fine.
Yeah, I
Especially
deleted a tweet today that I knew I shouldn't have sent. Then I just
yeah,
thought about
it's
it.
just things like
Yeah.
that where it's like you're almost in like a heated Twitter argument or something, which I'm very
Mm-hmm.
rarely in, but occasionally somebody will come like very like somebody will just have some other take and they'll just be a little bit not like not constructive at all. It's just kind of like spewing shit out at me, and so I want to like say something really smart back, but it's like, dude, this is
Yeah.
so. Let me just log out for a little bit and go outside, and then come back and feel a little bit better.
Yeah, I like to like forget that I was ever on Twitter basically. Like I forget I was even in an argument and then I just come back. I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is just a waste of time."
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
He.
Mez, last
Yeah.
question.
Go ahead. BCB
Man,
win.
I don't know. I'm actually like trying to shift around my goals right now because I did the 1,000+ Bandos kill and I don't have it. So I'm just gonna go. I'll go back to Bandos after I do some Gauntlet. I want to try and get a second blade because the bow's gonna be
Yeah.
broken. Might as well use it.
Yeah. No, for sure.
So
I'm gonna be doing a bunch of gauntlet.
yeah, I'm going for Augury. I don't have Augury yet, and I'm 237 Chambers KC. So that's kind of the goal right now is Augury, then
Gauntlet.
second blade, then I'll go back to Bandos and Slayer.
Cool.
So next month.
Okay. Whale Whale asks, "How did you become such a talented artist? Thoughts on Morse code and what's it like living in a constant state of cooked?"
All right, I'm gonna fire these ones off. So talented artist, he's talking about my emotes because they're all Microsoft Paint. So the talented artist thing actually came because I was doing wyverns on my iron, and I was like, you know what? I really want to draw Pepe hands for my outro screen because my intro screen was like I drew a fire cape because I was my iron's name was at the time was Fire Caper Man. Um, so I wanted to draw a fire cape. I drew. I don't even remember what else I had on the intro screen because I got rid of it when I reset my computer. But I drew a bunch of stuff and it was all like really shitty in Microsoft Paint. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna draw an outro screen. And I made it super shitty. And then I was like, I'm gonna draw Pepe hands. And then we came up with the Lopsi hands. And then after that, it was like every emote I made after that had to be Microsoft Paint because it's just the scuffedness was like a resemblance of the stream. And the fact that I still have the white background on it, because when I first made it, I didn't know how to make it transparent. So I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna have a white background. And you know what? That's just gonna be it because I don't know how to make it. I don't know how to fix that. So then all the other emotes just had to have a white background. So thoughts on Morse code? So I could actually send you this clip. Um, I was doing Inferno, the RCB cape, and yeah, I wasn't quite sure what Morse code is, so this is the clip that happened from it. Was this? If I don't know if you're gonna show
Yeah,
it.
there. Yeah. Let me bring it up real
Yeah,
quick.
just let me know when it's done.
Let's see if I can bring this up properly.
The context behind it was I was just like, dude, I fucking can see the ticks in my head. I was like, "Dee, dee, 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 dee,"
All
and
right.
then that clip
All
happens.
right, I have it. Let's. I'm gonna listen to it.
Morse code. I don't know what that is, but yeah. Why are they beeping? Well, the chippy chips, man. It's like I have a CPU processing unit, dude. I got an i9 9900K, dude.
Jesus Christ.
How the
Dude.
fuck do you not know what Morse code is? Bro, I don't program, dude. I don't know what any code is. I didn't make Uncle-Light. I'm not the hamsters that worked on it, bro. Why do you... Come on, man. What, dude? What, dude? I don't program. What is... I don't program. I don't know what Morse code is, dude.
Is it over?
It's pretty much over. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared the little music in the background to like
Oh,
cancel my thing.
yeah.
But Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
it's still a clip, so I don't know if it's DMCA-able. What song was it?
Whatever. We'll find out when I upload to YouTube. But regardless, that is funny as fuck.
Yeah, so that happened, and I really wasn't sure because I remember like hearing, something about Morse code in high school, but also in high school I was learning Python, so I was like, I didn't think anything of it, but then like after the stream I was like, why were they fucking freaking out about that? And then I looked it up. I was like, oh, I'm a dumbass, that's why. So yeah, so yeah, in Wales, what's it like living a constant state of cooked? I actually used to smoke a lot of weed, and you would think I still do, but I do not because of my job. And so like, yeah, I don't know. It's more fun to be learning than it is to be educated and teach people, in my opinion. At least while streaming. Maybe educate and teach people about certain things, but just like random shit like Morse code, bro. I'm not gonna fucking sit on stream and teach people about Morse code. So yeah, it's little things that make me laugh. But that's it.
Shit. Yeah. I guess the few times I don't smoke weed. But I mean, I can't say I haven't ever, but I will say like I can't function, dude. I literally can't. And I know it like takes a while to get like that immunity or whatever it's called. That
You build up like a tolerance over time.
There
but...
it is. Because I'm like, dude, I swear, like, if I'm high, I just want to sleep.
Dude,
there's no way I want to play this game. I just want to lay down.
Yeah, I used to be the biggest stoner. I'm from San Diego, so like,
but there's
what is
people
there to do in San Diego?
Like there's people and like friends of mine that'll be like, I can't even play this game without being high because it's like
fucking uncle, bro.
like they just can't. I'm like, damn, that's got to be a weird experience because I can only play this game like completely sober.
Yeah,
like,
I play this game shit face sometimes. Like there used to be a clip of when I was doing some mass chambers and I get crystals on me and I'm running the head. I'm like, oh whoops, sorry, and I kill my boy Apple Cakes. I'm just dying laughing the entire time. Just oh man, like I don't know. Playing this game shit face is pretty fun. When I used to play this game stoned, that's why I did 400 hours of Slayer with Void and no Void gloves because I was stoned as fuck and I was too lazy to get Void gloves. When I first played this game, this is what I meant by I was a bot. I had no concept of anything about this game, but I got Void. My boy was like, yo, get Void. It's going to be really good for when you start doing Zora and Chambers. And I don't even think Chambers out, Zora. It's all he was telling me to get Void for is Zora. And I got the helmets. I got the melee and the range helm. I got the top and the bottom. And I was like, I'm not getting no fucking gloves. Those things, that's a waste of fucking time. I didn't have Barrow's gloves. And then you fucking probably saw me as I was rune crossbowing Hellhounds in Neve's Cave. Just so fucking inefficient. And some guy comes up, he's like, aren't you going to wear the gloves? I was like, I'm not spending no goddamn time to get the gloves. And like, oh man. The amount of inefficiency I did when I was
but we all experienced that. Like,
oh yeah,
I didn't know what an Ava's accumulator was, and so I was just using god cloaks, like shooting shit with range, and I'd be wearing like a plate body. So I just didn't understand bonuses really.
Yeah, neither did I, especially with the Void. I had no fucking clue gloves were a part of the set, so I didn't even know that you could open up the combat tab and check shit like that. I just played the game.
A lot of shit you just learn over time.
Yeah, I was just enjoying playing the game, and then like, oh man, I was so sad when Zora got nerfed because I had literally done my first 5 kills on my friend's account. Like, I went to his house and was like, I just want to practice on like your account, so like, I'm not wasting my money, I'll waste your money. And he was like, all right, that's fine. And I just was hanging out with him, and then like literally the next Thursday, they fucking they patched this shit. To give you like a timeline of when I started, it was like late 2015, early 2016. I started um I started the week before they patched Guthan's Nightmare Zone. That's when I started playing again.
Old school, just in general.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, old school.
When was
Like
that? Was
for
that 2016?
I
2015?
think it was early it was late
Okay,
2015,
that was
early
exactly me then.
2016.
That was literally exactly
Yeah.
me. Because I
And like
started when. Yeah, I actually had started like a few months before the whole Guffins thing was
yeah, I
nerfed.
was like just about to get Guthans to do that because I was still going to school, and my boy was like, "Yo, you can just train while you're at school for 6 hours. It's super easy." And then, yeah, like the week after or something was like after I got the requirements and he was gonna loan me Guthans, it got patched, and I was like, "Man, like
Dude,
now I gotta train my skills."
I still remember when I started up on old school and 6 houring Nightmare Zone was still a thing, and I just remember looking. I would see people walking around that were level 122, and I'm like, holy fuck! Like I remember this was so amazing. Like back in the day, if you saw anybody over level 100, they were like, okay, got some fucking. But
Yep.
anybody over 120, you're like, Jesus, like you're a machine. But then I'd look them up, and they have like 36 Slayer. I'm like,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
happened here? And then I looked up like all that shit with Nightmares, and I'm like, damn, that's the most depressing sight I've ever seen.
Yeah, I didn't realize like how honestly like broken and bad it was until like I started like caring about the game to the point where I was very invested with all my time and everything.
Yeah, and that's I am very passionate about this game, so I'm definitely one of the minority. I feel like where it comes to like I want game balance. Of course, I have my own agendas and stuff, but like at the same time, I really do care about longevity of this game and like I don't know, just
Yeah,
not
I mean
having
nobody
really busted
nobody
stuff come out, especially shit like botting. That's just blatantly botting that they're allowing,
Oh yeah.
and then
Yeah.
they'll like go crazy on like people that are botting in a different way. It's like, what is the difference? Just get rid of it all. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. There's a lot of shit that
Yeah.
I don't know, especially with there's like some things in clients now that you could definitely consider as drawing the line between like botting or not.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's
I don't know.
it's a tough line. It's a lot of
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because as soon as they take one thing away from plugin, there's bound to be one thing that you really love that's going to also be taken away. And they've already shown
Yeah.
that when they got rid of Rune Light for a time and like menu entry swapping and stuff. Oh, that was horrible. I hated having to like not use menu entry swapper or risk getting banned. It's like,
Yep, that was
dude.
pretty rough.
Okay. Mofo says, "You're one of the most generous people I have met. I love you a lot. The amount you give others far surpasses the amount you make from streaming. It's clear you stream for fun, which is a big reason your streams are so entertaining and wild. Was there anything in your life that has led you to being such a caring and thoughtful person? How do you stream with so much energy for so long? I know your streams are a break from work where you can chat shit with the homies, but I can't imagine how much energy it takes. Much love, Loppy, Mofo, Lopsi."
Good emote, honestly. He
Shout
better
out
be in
Mofo.
chat and putting Mofo Lopsy right now. It's like the eye roll of Lopsy is basically it. It's fucking beautiful emote. Um, to answer the first question, it's like was there anything in your life that had led such a caring, thoughtful person? My parents were extremely generous when I was a kid, but I was also like the youngest, so I got to get away with stuff while they focused on everybody else. So like I kind of, snuck under the rug, like so to speak. Like I kind of like didn't necessarily do what I want to, but I got to bend and break the rules to a point where like when I got in trouble, I got in fucking trouble because I was like pushing it. And where like my brothers, they would just outright rule breakers, and they'd be grounded all the fucking time. Like my brother that I live with the longest, who's like the closest to me, the third oldest, he for like as long as I can remember, he was grounded. That was ever since I could start fucking making words and thinking for myself. He was grounded, and it wasn't until like he met a group of friends that when they came over, they would like my dad. My dad grounded us from playing games and watching TV, but we were free to go outside and, you know, do sporting activities and stuff because my dad's pretty fucking old. Born in the 50s. Actually, no, he's born in the late 50s, yeah. So early 60s. So like he's old fashioned in the sense of like you don't need to sit inside and play
Go
games to
get
have
some fresh
fun.
air. Go
Yeah,
get some fresh
go
air. That's
out.
what they always say.
Yeah, go get some fresh air, scrape up your knees,
Rub some
and
dirt on it.
yeah, rub some dirt on it.
Go get in
and
trouble.
Yep, exactly. And like, so like when I got in trouble and stuff, it was like, you need to give me a reason to like for you to be in trouble. When I was young, I got in trouble for staying up past my bedtime because I'd be fucking watching TV or playing games. So like, then when I grew older, I was like, oh well, I could just wait till they go to bed, then start playing games. So then I would like have this weird sleeping schedule where I slept for like 4 hours at 8 p.m. and then like woke up and played games until like 3 a.m. And then I'd go to sleep and I'd wake up. My dad would be like, "Why are you so tired? You're in the 5th grade." And I'd be like, "I couldn't tell you." Like, I loved playing games like my whole life. So it was hard for me to stop.
Yeah.
But like my parents were like so generous and caring with me, and I definitely took advantage of it when I got into high school, and I feel bad because like I loved smoking weed and my parents are religious, so it was not their favorite thing for me to do, and they didn't know about it until later. But my brother was the main focus of their attention because he was getting into some shit and in and out of jail and stuff. So like I got to see a very, very bad path get taken in front of me, and it kind of led me to take a not so bad path where I shouldn't even say I justified. I recognized that, my actions were not going to cause harm to other people, and instead I could actually, choose actions that brought, you know, benefits to other people or brought joy to other people, and that is probably where it all stems from is my brother giving me a harder life gave me the want to let people have a better life.
Well, shit.
So that's kind of like, and I wouldn't even say I'm like generous. I am not. I know I gift a lot of subs. I know I donated $500 to Mofo's charity, which is just not enough for what he was doing and what he was doing it for. It's just not enough. But I still, have my own goals, my own life goals of like moving. I live with my parents, so I want to move out. I want to have my own place. I want to buy a fucking Tesla. Like, I have my own goals that I'm saving for, but it's just I have money to spare because I work a lot, so I might as well, give the benefit to the people that want content creation to be their goal. That's why I fucking subbed to Settled like day one when he got his sub button because I was like, dude, he was in high school and I was like, dude, that was like my dream in high school is to be a YouTuber. I made like COD videos when I was in like my freshman and sophomore year. So I was like, dude, I wanted to be a YouTuber so bad. Like if I can support somebody else that like had that dream of mine, like that's like me living vicariously through them. So you know what, I'm gonna do that. And
That's awesome.
Then it changed over to Twitch, and Twitch is just such I'd say it's a better place for seeing your favorite streamers or content creators thrive because you see it live when they get a donation and they're just like, "Oh my, like thank you, man. Like that means the fucking world to me that you want to support what I'm doing here." And yeah, that just means it means the world to me to see the process of that happening, where you get to see like your favorite streamers just, I wouldn't say be grateful, but be, you know, become successful.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
There's just
great.
there's certain people that you like really connect with on Twitch, and the one thing you just love to see is when they start polling organically a bunch of viewers and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
over time. It's just so cool to see.
Yeah, it's a really good feeling to, especially when you like watch somebody go from like Uncle, watch them go from banned to partnered.
Yeah.
That was fucking amazing.
Yep.
Incredible. Um, Mofo then asks, how do I stream with so much energy for so long? I don't even think I stream long. That's what's crazy. Is I try and average 4 hours as a minimum. That's what I want my minimum to be, because I feel like with when I stream, it's like getting late on the East Coast, and it's right when I'm off work on the West Coast. So like there's a middle ground for like the people in Central, that it's like they're winding down. They're either watching me before dinner or after dinner, and then they're gonna go watch a movie and go to bed, or go do whatever it is they do and go to bed. So it's like I'm really only streaming for like the West Coast and Hootie Tootie, because he is Australian and he's up at fucked hours. So, um, so it's like I want to be I want to be live for that extended period of like 4 hours or more, so that more people can come in and I can make those more people laugh. That's like the only goal, is like somebody comes in chat, I want to give them a fucking giggle mate, and I want them to say some shit. That's it.
Yeah. And the beauty of like having a larger community, not like it matters per se, but I will say like things can get just so much more funny when there's more people involved.
Oh, 100%,
Like
100%.
like that's what makes that my most enjoyable streams, I should say, are when there's just so many people in there and we're all just super interactive and we're all just having a blast, and that's
Yeah.
when like the jokes and stuff and the humor, like my weird humor, like really shines, is when I like I don't know, it's like there's just this organicness of me just being funny without trying at all.
Mhm.
And that's just like it's so hard to get to that point where it's like completely organic, of like just trying to like you're not even trying to be funny, you're just like just cracking jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it without sounding arrogant, like, oh, I'm being so funny. No, but like but you know what I mean, just
Well,
like
you are. No, I totally get it. It's like the effortless.
yes, there it is, like the
ability.
effortlessness of just going
Yes.
on, like, and you know what is really weird, so this might just be me, but I can almost tell when the effortlessness ends. Like,
Yeah. No,
it's like this
I
weird,
think that's
it's,
everybody.
it's this weird moment where it's like, oh, I wasn't realizing this was all effortless, and then you start like
Yep.
like actually thinking about it, like, why am I thinking about
Yeah.
this? Stop thinking about it. And then it ends and you're like, oh, well that shit sucks.
Yep. No, I totally get what you're talking about.
No, but like, I guess I've always found myself as, well, I've been a class clown, and I'm introverted, but there's also occasions where I instantly become like a class clown in school.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's the same way.
I will be the center of every single thing. I'll get in trouble because I'm just taking it way too far. And I never have felt, and like with other jobs I worked, like I remember like graduating and stuff and just being like, what am I gonna do? Like, I love, like, I can't make money off of like the bullshit I did in school, but
Yep. Yeah.
then you start realizing there's actually niche avenues where you can literally just be a clown, have fun, do exactly what you want to do, and make something of it. And so,
You know what? Now that you say that, that's probably why I act the way I do on stream, and I'm so open to being, like you said, like a clown, is because that's kind of how I was in high school.
Yeah.
I would take any and every opportunity to make a joke
yeah.
and keep it riding as long as possible. Just Squeeze that fucker until
Yeah.
everything is out of it, and
Yeah.
then
And that's why you
go to the
masturbate 5
office.
times a day.
Yep.
Okay. No, but this is
That was
true.
perfect.
Like, dude.
That was perfect.
So listen, like, I have a friend, and he reminds me of you, and he was a high school friend, and we would sign up for the exact same classes, and we would feed on each other's jokes. So I went to my first high school for 3 years, then I moved. Thank God I moved, because this shit would have been so bad that senior year if we had done the same thing we did junior year. But like, I could tell, like, you have the same energy as him, and I feel like you could have been my friend, and we would have like signed up for all the same high school classes. And what my friend and I would do is we would hang out after school every single day as well, and then we'd go into our classes, and we'd have these inside jokes that would make no sense to anybody. They would make no sense, and we would be so obnoxious about it, trying to like almost pretend like it's a thing everyone should know about. And yeah, we would just take things way too far. And God, like, I can imagine we'd be the same way if we were in like high school together. Just
Yeah, that's exactly what I was taking
just
things
going
too far.
way too far. Yeah.
Yeah, going to the office and then just telling them the joke, and then them also just calling my mom, and then I'm on the way home. Like,
Yeah,
good
literally.
times.
I miss high school. You know what I also miss? I miss Facebook in early high school. Like,
Yeah, that was like
prime. Like prime
Yeah.
of Facebook was like my freshman year of high school. And we would that was back when like statuses were like a cool thing, like posting just little statuses. And then there was always high school drama, and I could go into it for hours, but we just had so much fun.
What class did you graduate in?
2013.
Okay, so you're 3 years older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like my middle school Facebook was popping off, but
Well,
then I
wait.
went back and looked at it. It was
You're
cringe.
you're 24, right?
Yeah, well, I turned 24 this year.
Okay.
I was 2016. I graduated 2016 though.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I was a late 2013 because I just turned 26 a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah. Happy belated, by the way. I think
you.
I was there for the stream, but I actually no, I'm sorry. I streamed that day. I feel terrible, actually.
You do not need to feel terrible about that. Literally, you do not need. Yeah, there's people that come in like the day after. I'm so sorry. I'm like, dude, literally, it just.
Yeah, it's just another day to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if
No,
you feel that way, but
same thing. Yeah. It's fun to be able to milk literally anything when you're a content creator. Like, oh, it's my birthday. It's like, oh, it's gonna be my birthday, or oh, we're gonna do this thing. Like, just try to milk things, but. Okay.
At the end of the day, it's just a day, but yeah, I feel that.
Moving on. Okay. Kexi had asked. He's a huge fan of Serb, so definitely ask him about that. When you got pegged 8 times, apparently.
What's the question? Wait, where is this?
Kexi. It just says he's a huge fan of Serbs. Just how was that?
Yeah.
That was the first thing you went dry on. You said, or like your first experience.
That was the first thing I went so dry on that people actually knew of my stream from being dry at Serb.
See, that's a beautiful thing about content creation is like when you're making your grinds known to other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything that's bad, like literally the worst place to go dry is Nightmare. But at least I'm a streamer. Because if I wasn't a streamer and I was just doing this shit, oh my god, now I'd quit.
Yeah, I would have quit the game. Like, I couldn't. I'm very glad I'm gonna start Nightmare at Fosani's.
Yes,
let me just say that.
That's a blessing. It's also like I think, man, in hindsight, if I had known this was coming out, I would have just never done Nightmare. But at the same time, I had that experience. It gave me a lot of confidence in future grinds, and honestly, now I'm like fully set to do Fosani's. I'm already geared up, like maxed to do it.
Yeah,
so I'm excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna be fucking. Maybe I'll get a bludgeon. That's the other place I'm going really dry right now. I have 450 Sire KC and I have a jar. That is it.
Yikes!
Just one jar.
That's horrible.
Yeah, and when I got the jar, I got the unsired. I was like, oh my god. If this is a jar, I'm ending my stream, and I got a jar. So. Sad life.
Yeah.
But yeah, Serb was the first. So Zora, I went not dry, but the kills were slow. You know, Carol's crossbow, Trident of the Seas, and then I got a mutagen. It's my first unique. And then my second unique was a mutagen.
Damn.
It was so pain. It was beyond painful.
Wait, which
really.
one was it?
Both tans.
Wow.
And you know what? I was like, I even said to myself, "There's no way I'm getting a mutagen on this account. I got 2 on my main." Well, I put that away with before I even got a blowpipe. I think I got a magic thing 3 kills before I got my second mutagen. But I kind of am scuffed on the timeline on if I got 2 mutagens first or not.
Yeah. RNG is so weird, dude.
This account's like just any unique luck that this account could have is just so far out the ass gone. Uh, I've gotten like 5 onyxes from Zora and like 4 scale uniques or 5 scale uniques, and I'm like 1,500 Zora KC. It's just not good. Not a good time for me.
Yeah.
And then yeah, so yeah, fuck sir. Kexi's the biggest spoon I know in this game. Also, by the way.
Biggest spoon is well, there's multiple. Defy J is probably one
Oh
of them.
yeah.
But no, anybody that gets really lucky, anybody that gets lucky at Nightmare, I instantly have this like almost just like just a little bit of resent toward them because it's like
Yeah.
it's almost like not resent because I understand it was out of their control completely. But at the same time, it's like you never grinded Nightmare. You don't know how it really is.
Yeah,
But yet they can
yeah.
flex everything. I'm just like, God damn it. But at the same time, I got a
Yeah.
20 KCT bows, and people fucking hate me for that.
Yeah, see, Kexi, that's the only item he's going, remotely on rate for is a T-bow right now. And like I fucking hated I would log into Discord in the morning and I'd just see Kexi with 3 new items for his account. I was just like, why does this guy play the game? He's gonna have everything in 2 months. Why does he keep playing? That's
Yeah.
I was literally complaining about it. And then I was like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. My account's cursed. I could play in that one.
I just think of the I try not to think of all the curses. Like I've gone dry in a lot of places, but at the same time, it's like I have 3 third age pieces, and I only deserve one.
Dude,
Like
yeah.
I only deserve one. Like that is the greatest thing to ever spoon. And so I'm just like, you know what? Anything else that happens, it's deserved because of my third age. So
Yeah, that's incredible. I'm just hoping that like Corp and Nightmare are just super because all I really want from Nightmare is top and bottom and a mace. I don't really give a shit about the stabs or anything. All I'm hoping for is those 3 items and an arcane from Corp. That is like if I could get those, sub like let's say 3/4 hour rate, I would be so fucking happy. Just because everywhere that I've gone, I've just gone either almost directly on rate, like Hydra. I was almost directly on rate. I was like 12 kills over rate for a claw when I got it. And then Groudor, I'm way over rate for BCP. I'm actually way over rate for items in general. And then I guess Krill, I got a spear on rate, but I got pet 4 kills before that. So
damn, that's sick.
that
Krill
is
pet's sick.
an amazing pet. That's probably my favorite God Wars pet.
Yeah, no, that's mine as well.
Yeah, that's just an incredible pet.
It's really sick.
Yeah, that's it though. Like for spooning, I guess the Warhammer. I got a Dragon Warhammer at 1,700 kills with the Carol's crossbow. But the time investment for like these things is just so much more steep. Like 5,000 shaman kills is nothing compared to like I'm pretty sure I've spent more time at Bandos now than I did at shamans. It's like
Yeah, I think what's Bandos like? I think Bandos with perfect efficiency is like 20 kills an hour. That's like
Yeah.
perfect efficiency, which
Yeah.
nobody's getting.
Yep.
And so it's more like
And I'm
10.
and I'm streaming it, so it's
Yeah.
like it's probably like 8 because I'm streaming it, so
Yeah.
I'm always talking to
Yeah,
chat.
that's
I'm
true.
always falling over, dying. So.
Actual time investment, yeah, probably like 6, maybe. Like 6
Yeah.
kills an hour. Yeah, no, it gets to that
Yeah.
point though. I totally understand. Like my Nightmare, like people are like, wow, you spent a lot of time at Nightmare. Like you've done like, because I've done like 2,900 solos, and you're getting at max like 3 an hour.
Yep, that's
and
brutal.
then like some additional team stuff. But I'm like, dude, there's the amount of times that I've died like 200 times there, and
Oh no, no.
oh yeah, no, I've died like 200 times there, and it's just painful. But
Oh,
um, the what was I gonna say? I just got a clue, so I'm like gearing up for the clue because I've been AFKing Vires this entire time. Keep getting clues.
I've been fucking fishing minnows. I got 750 sharks, and I'm just cleaning every herb in my bank, which is a good feeling.
Yeah. Anyway, what I was saying is just like, yeah, when you're streaming content, it's way more hours than just somebody
Oh yeah,
sweating like in their underwear in the
yeah,
dark on their computer.
yeah. Like every nightmare kill you did, you had to the run there. You probably spent, you'd say, maybe 10 extra seconds each run because you're talking to chat, or you just go straight in.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I like
It's
seriously
just
like you know when you're streaming you just completely forget what you're doing. Like
yes,
I'll
yes.
be premiering a Sae Bae Cast. I will literally be premiering it right now as I'm talking currently. And I'll just notice these random times where I just sit on one tile for like 20 ticks. I'm like, why was I just sitting there? Like, oh yeah, because I was so
Yes.
distracted talking.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
That you know what? That's why okay, so one of my earlier streams on RuneScape, I was catching red chins and Latias hosted me and
king.
I was high as fucking dick and I had no clue what was happening. There's like all these people talking in my chat all of a sudden. I'm catching fucking red chins high as fuck. I'm like, what am I doing right now am I playing the game? Like I did not know what was going on. There was like so many times I'm just like sitting there looking at chat and just standing still. I've fletched my fucking teak stock 13 times since he's hosted. Like, oh, it was so bad. I thank him for hosting me though, because I was like, man, I guess like people will really watch anything because a lot of people stuck around. So, I
Yeah,
was like, thank him for that.
that's
He
awesome.
really
I
opened
love
my eyes to
Latias.
that. Yeah, fucking God at this game.
So good. Okay, so this is really off topic, but I'm actually really curious. So, as I said earlier, I don't smoke weed, but the few times that I have, we'll just say, and I guess I just thought about it because you were just talking about you were just high as fuck. But does food taste like orgasmic when you're high, or is that
Um,
just like a starting out thing? Because there was an experience where like I was so hungry, like I get these crazy cravings, and then like we went to Dairy Queen and I got a flamethrower burger and like a whatever they're called, not Frosty, what are they called,
Blizzard.
Blizzards.
Blizzard.
Yeah, Blizzard. And the Blizzard was like, it was like every single time I put a spoonful in my mouth, it was like the most amazing thing I'd ever tasted. Every single time.
Oh yeah.
Like, is that
Um,
just like, does that just happen? I'm just
I
curious.
don't
But it's
see
also
me.
weird because I'm so like it's just such a rare event for me. It
It
almost feels like I'm in a dream state where it's like this tastes orgasmic, but at the same time I'm not getting the full effect because I'm like in a dream state almost where it's like
yeah,
this doesn't
yeah.
feel real.
I'd say like the first few times I smoked, I got that dream state that you're talking about. Then after that, it was just kind of like there's like clouds behind your eyes, and like you feel the wave of like I wouldn't say like the wave of air, but you feel like the wave of life around you. And it's weird to explain because it's an out of mind experience, like you're not in your right state of mind. So your perception's different and things feel different. But food wise, I don't know, man. I make good food because I like the taste of good food. So it's like when I was high as fuck, have you ever seen that show with Action Bronson? Damn or fuck that's delicious.
Nah.
That is a show where he just gets insanely high because Action Bronson's a rapper, but he started rapping because he fucking hurt himself in a kitchen and he couldn't walk. So he just started rapping and then his career took off rapping and now he just makes food when he wants to. And he made a fucking YouTube show, Fuck That's Delicious. And it's literally just like him making amazing food and being high as fuck. So like
Damn.
and that is like when I used to get high as fuck, I love eggs and I love egg salad and shit. And I would just make like hella breakfast food. I'd make like French toast and eggs,
Yeah.
or I'd make like cinnamon toast with like a sprinkle of sugar, with
Yeah.
a hella cinnamon. Like I would just make a bunch of breakfast food. So like food, I'd say right now I could go make something and it's always orgasmic because I just love good food. But I definitely
That's cool.
think that the intro to, your first few times being high, you have like this expectation that food is better, and it's almost like a placebo effect where food is actually better because you think it's gonna be. But I feel
No,
like
no,
after
no. I did not think food was gonna be better, but that's it. But
you didn't.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. But you know what I did think? I did think that I was gonna get paranoid as fuck the first time because I've heard stories about that, and I was paranoid as fuck the first time. Like it was
I
bad.
still, yeah, I don't know why I kept smoking when I did, because like I was like making really decent money working at a factory, and like they did not give a shit. Like I would smoke on my breaks, I would smoke on my lunch, I would go to the bathroom and hit like a wax pen because I just really wanted to get high. But I used to get super paranoid. I actually don't know why I smoked as much as I did, because like after I hit a certain point, I would only feel paranoia, and
Damn, that sucks.
it was incredibly uncomfortable like all the time.
Jeez. So was
So
it just like the
I think it was
habit of
just
it?
like the head change was like comforting at first, but then like
Okay.
right after that it was just, yeah,
Yeah.
just paranoia. And then like also you really, I like don't want to, any weed smokers out there, I don't want to like discourage you from doing what you like, but you develop a really bad habit of eating after having the munchies, as like people call it, but really what it is like your body's response to like trying to sober up because it's out of its normal state. So like you want to eat food.
Mm.
And then like my brother, he smokes all the fucking time, but now he has like, he'll call it an eating disorder, but I just call it, you're just fucking, you get too high too often. But he can't eat food because he either doesn't get hungry or like he'll get a stomach ache from eating it because it's not his right now him eating is a response to him being high instead of him eating as a response to him being hungry,
Wow.
is how I see it. I'm no scientist. I couldn't
Yeah.
tell you if that's what that means, but that's what happened to me. Is I had like a really bad problem with eating, and once I stopped smoking, first off, when you smoke a lot and you stop smoking, that's enough reason for me to smoke, is to stop smoking, because you have the most insane vivid dreams you'll ever have in your life.
Afterward or
After like the week after you stop
dude.
smoking. So like,
Okay, so
oh my
I
God.
don't know if this relates, but when I stopped drinking caffeine for the first like probably like after like 3 days, for that next week, my dreams were so vivid. Like I can still remember them, like I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's the same thing with smoking weed, because like you, I don't know
It's
if
like
a
you
lot of
just
people
get
do this,
better
but
sleep or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
well, I also used to smoke before I slept, so like I would never remember any dreams I was having
Mm.
ever, because there's like this. I gotta. It was explained to me by a psych teacher where you have like this circle in your head, right in your brain. There's like a circle of little, uh, I forgot what he called them, but they're like basically they just touch each other and transfer information. So like if I want to move my left arm, the signal starts on the right side of my head and it travels around until it reaches the point where my body responds to move left arm. Well, like when you're stoned, the response system inside your head goes in an inefficient path. So instead of it going the fastest route to get to your left, it goes the slowest route to get to your left. And then you have this, he calls it the delay. You have this, like if you ask somebody a question and they're stoned, they have the delay where they're trying to process it around in that inefficient path. So I think that, wait, what was I talking about?
Uh,
Fucking lost my train of thought explaining that.
yeah, no, we're God, we're just talking about what it's like to like I don't. We've been talking about a lot of shit with weed, but
Yeah, I think it's just that like I think it was the food thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know.
yeah. It was like
But
the eating disorder thing into like I don't know
oh no, the dream
sleeping.
thing, the
Yeah,
dream thing,
dreaming.
the
That
dream
was
thing.
it. That was it.
Okay,
That was it.
when you're asleep and your brain's taking the inefficient path, that's when you lose your dreams, because you're not waking up thinking like, "Oh, wait, what was that dream about?" You're waking up and your brain's just like, all right, like you need to wake up, wake up. We're trying to wake up, and like you completely lose sight of like what your dream was the night before.
Yeah.
That's at least how my experience was, and that's how my psych teacher explained it to me. And when I stop smoking, I have the craziest fucking dreams. Like I'm fucking James Bond, fucking mixed over with uh, Bruce Willis and what's that fucking Die Hard? Like, dude, I have the craziest fucking dreams after I'm done smoking. It's insane.
No, I have really weird dreams. Did you know? So who knows if this is actually fucking real or not? But apparently, 50% of your dreams are like happy dreams. Then 50% of your dreams are like fearful dreams.
That makes sense. I 100% believe that because like nightmares are like I don't know if they are this, but I feel like all my nightmares have really been like a fight or flight response check.
Yeah.
Is basically it. And you know what sucks is now that you say that, I bet you that's why have you seen Inception?
Yeah. I love
That
Inception.
movie was fucking great. But you know that kick you get like when you're almost asleep and like something happens when you're at that like point
and
of
you just
turning
flinch.
and you flinch and
Hardcore.
oh my god.
And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, why?
I I now 100% believe that that's like you're starting to have a bad dream before you're even asleep, and that's what happens.
Yeah.
I now you just confirmed that that's what I believe.
Yeah. No, it is weird. Like, I want to keep a dream journal, but at the same time, I feel like, what's the point? Because there's no way I'm gonna fucking read back on it. It's like, I just don't care enough.
You know, Safiro used to talk a lot about lucid dreaming and like the act of like, fuck, I forgot what it's called. It's like being in sleep paralysis, but not fully lucid dreaming. So like you are aware that you're dreaming, but you can't really do anything about it. Whereas like lucid dreaming, you can like take control of what's going on around you in your dreams.
Interesting.
And then sleep paralysis, you just have a demon sitting on your chest. And
I actually looked into like lucid dreaming a while back, and there's like things you can do to like make you start lucid dreaming, and some of those are like doing IRL checks, like checking mirrors and like checking like reading something, like reading a sign, like because apparently you can't read in dreams, and you can't you can't see reflections either in your dreams. Who the hell knows? Because none of all my dreams are so fuzzy.
Crazy.
Yeah, but apparently the reason you can't read in your dream is because we're not like, it's only been in the last few thousand years or something that we've started reading text, and so like we haven't adapted, like humans haven't adapted to be able to like our dreams are very I don't know, like what's the word for it, like caveman-y, like very
yeah, no, that's
what's
the
barbaric not barbaric, there's another word for it, just basic. I don't fucking know what the word is, but
I get you.
You know what I'm talking about. Everyone knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, damn, this is this fucking Sae Bae Cast. I like this.
No, this is like my favorite part about it is that like the original question.
Just go
what
off.
even? Wait, what was the original question? Wait, no, we weren't even on a question. We just finished talking about.
we had literally the last thing I said was Kexi, you being a huge fan of Serb. That's the last thing we talked. How the hell did we get here? Okay, listen.
I have no clue.
All right, let's move on. Okay, Defy J asks, when will we kiss?
Is he going to RuneFest?
He'll have to respond to that. We'll
I
find out.
want to do like an IRL stream where we meet people right at RuneFest and stuff. And if Defy is there, I'll literally kiss him on stream.
And I'll also be in there. I'll just slip my lips in there as well.
I'm okay with that. That'd be a nice little cheeky threesome.
That'd be nice. Or I'm not gonna steal it from you. That was a selfish thing. Me just slip in there. Okay, listen. Why do I keep saying listen? Like Christ, just calm down. This is what I do on my stream. I
you
literally
sound like my boss.
I say K listen. If I'm getting really like hyper on my stream, I'll start saying K listen, and I can't stop. And I feel empowered by it because everyone's gonna listen. Anyway, moving on. Okay, I want to actually cover this one first. So Erezer asks, biggest hurdle challenge you faced while beginning content creation. This is a really good one because I'm assuming a lot of people watching this like have had some experience with content creation or are on the up and coming or whatever.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna just take this for a minute here and say three things. There's three of like the hardest struggles for content creation. The first is like being whale and just not going live, right? So like if you're gonna play a game like RuneScape, for instance, and all you're gonna do is grind one boss, grind one skill, grind literally anything. As long as you're grinding and like you're playing the game, right? If you're not, streaming your logout screen because you went to go take a nap and you just forgot you were live, go live. Go live to stream. Do not go live expecting, you know, a bunch of people to show up. When I started streaming, especially when I started streaming way back in 2014 when I was streaming Zelda, there was negative viewers in my chat. I was in my chat on my iPad on my bed, and I had to fucking tab back to see that nobody was talking every 20 minutes. So it was like, and I would even say that's like a hurdle. If your goal is to have people in your chat, that's a hurdle. But my goal was to not have people in my chat. It was to have, somebody come in and tell me, and not even somebody to come in, somebody to watch. That's what I wanted. I wanted somebody to watch and say like, oh, this kid might, be good at speedrunning one day. When I started streaming RuneScape, I didn't know who was gonna watch, but I wanted somebody to watch. So I was streaming raids. I was streaming team raids, like duos. But like I was gonna be doing duos I was gonna be playing the game doing raids anyway. Why not just go live? Is what my thought process was. I think right now, the second hardest thing is expecting something to happen when you have no basis of anything happening. And by that I mean maybe it's best to not go live, and instead it's best to network. Like my stream is any percent big or whatever you want to call it. I have a very very small stream, very small community, but I'm known throughout so many communities that this sounds like, I go to these communities to get hosts, but that's not it. I'm a part of other people's communities, and then they expose their communities to my community. And I'm, like I said, not a big streamer whatsoever. I'm not partnered. I had the requirements at one point so I could apply, but I don't have the requirements right now. If I apply, I get shot down in like 2 days. So, yeah, I guess I lumped up two into one. So, yeah, there's like my two things for biggest hurdles to start content creation, at least now.
Yeah. Now that summed it up pretty well, and I really do think some people. I agree with your first point that you need to just go live, especially when you're starting.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
at the same time, don't overwork yourself. You should be
Yeah.
consistent, but don't be pulling like 50-hour weeks streaming when you're streaming to 0 people. Like your time is better spent elsewhere. You should still stream almost every day, but you don't need to overwork yourself. Just
Also finding like those niche time slots. Like Uncle had like the perfect, when he started streaming, he had like the perfect time slot where it was like everybody was kind of getting off, but there was still people like across the globe that were like the Australians, like they wanted to watch somebody. So Uncle was on, and he had good music. So like, sometimes you could say that like it's hard to have a
And Uncle is on Twitch. Like people know of him, and that's the difference. Is like he didn't just come, oh, I want to be a streamer. Let me just start streaming out. No, he has been an active member in so many communities, and same with you.
Now when I did my first stream, my first RuneScape stream, when you probably followed me around then, I was a part of Saf's community, and that was it. Saphiro was like the only person I watched on Twitch, and Settled. But Settled like kind of quit streaming, got, busy with school and whatever else he was doing. So it was like there wasn't a crazy amount of exposure I had. But now it's like I go into anybody's chat and, somebody adds me with either my emote or somebody else's emote to say what's up. So it's like there's there's a networking aspect that you can have, and it with me it wasn't about networking. It was about, this is a dope community, I want to be a part of it. And then in turn, as I'm streaming, you can call it networking now, because you have like these connections with other streamers and other communities that, like, somebody's getting off, they're like, oh fuck, Lopsi's live, yo, I'm gonna go kick it in there until I go to bed. So we're all going there. So it's like that sharing of community. You be
Yeah.
a part of somebody's community and you're a strong member of it, and it's just you give to them and they give back kind of thing. And you don't have to fucking sub or gift subs or anything. That's not what I've done in like 90% of the communities. I gift a lot of subs to like my homies and like people I want to see thrive on this fucking platform, and you know, small streamers that I think, deserve it, cuz I think gifting subs is like one of the best things, cuz it creates this want for, at least when I was gifted subs, I wanted to watch the people I was sub to, because I had their emotes and like, it looked like I was a part of their chat.
Yeah.
Now I had their badges and stuff. So it's like you create this want for people to be inside of that stream. So you're almost giving them more viewers by giving them more subs. So, the smaller streamers that I've gifted to, it's not that I'm expecting them to raid me or host me or something. I'm expecting them to go live again when I do that. So it's like, and like I swear the biggest communities that host me and raid me, like Hannah's community, very 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 awesome community, horny fucks, but very awesome. And like she raids me more than she should, because I'm just live at a time where she can, and her and I are just good friends. We hang out in Discord, talk shit, talk about life, whatever the case may be, talk about anything. So it's like, you create good friends, and if you want to call it networking, you can call it that. But I don't know. I feel like that's a weird thing to call it when it's
It is
just
weird.
like,
It's just
yeah,
it's
yeah,
completely organic friendships that,
yeah. That's exactly a
and
good
calling
way to
it
put it
network is
too.
like, wow, you just took advantage of this community. It's like, no, this is not it
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, no, yeah. Networking is a really, dude, it's so cringe when people are like network and it's just like follow for follow, like like that
Oh
kind of
yeah,
shit.
no,
Like,
that's
you don't give a shit about me. You're just, what I really
oh
feel bad about is people that have tried to like network with me, and this has happened more than once. Like, people will be an active member in my community, and I feel like I followed them the first time they were like, like I'll see that they're being a really active and helpful part of my community, and then I'll like go follow them because I know they're a streamer or something, and I
mhm.
didn't. And then I'm like, all of a sudden it's been like months, and they're like still in my stream, and I haven't like reciprocated anything back, and I'm like, dude, I feel like such an asshole, because it's like you clearly give a lot of your time and stuff to
Yeah,
my stream, and then I can't. And that's kind of another bad thing. Like, this, again, I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but when you do get a lot, when your community grows a little bit more, then you can like really handle like going, because initially there was a few streamers that all I had to watch because I only had like 100 followers. It's like, okay, like
yeah.
the streamers that watch me, I'll go watch them, which is like 4 of them. But it's like now it's like there's probably 200, 300. It's like I can't, like,
There gets to a point where there's too much content to take in
this is just too much. You have to
while
pick and
while
choose.
producing.
Oh yeah.
Content, there's too much. There's too much.
Oh yeah, and it even gets to the point where even if I wasn't producing, you can't,
Yes.
unless you're
yeah.
just, because like I will sometimes, like, I hate doing this, but I'll make the rounds, where like I wake up in the morning,
Yep.
I'll make the rounds.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, I feel like such an ass leaving after I just said like hi and stuff, but like I'm just making the rounds, like,
Yeah,
because there's too many
I just
people.
don't think that like anybody thinks, like badly of somebody stopping in to say hi and not saying bye, because it's like then you have to wait and hear them say bye and their last final question for you, then respond and then respond and then
And
respond.
then wait for another thing, like,
Yep. Yeah.
dude,
No, I
this is the problem with, also with like low viewer streamers, is it when, okay, so if there's a low viewer streamer and I'll go into a stream, but I'm making the rounds. It is way more. It's almost like they take. I feel, who knows what they're actually feeling, but I'm a kind of a sensitive guy, and I can almost like expect what they're feeling, which is probably not true, but I can just expect it. Like, I go in there and say, hey, what's up? But I'm not going to say I'm making the rounds. I'll just like say, hey, what's up? And then they
Yeah.
start trying to form a conversation with me because there's like 3 people in the chat. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and so it almost discourages me from even entering there in the first place, which is horrible because it's like I basically have to set out 20 minutes to be here to like have a conversation.
Yes.
It's
Nah,
horrible.
I hate that.
It's horrible, and that's why that's how I felt when I first started streaming. Is people would come in there and I had the same thought process. Like, people are coming in here, but they don't even want to talk because as soon as they talk, I'm gonna like try to have a conversation. So I'd be so
Yeah.
open with people. I'd be like, hey, you can leave whenever you want. Like,
Yep.
I have to make that so clear because I would hate for somebody to feel like I don't want to pop in here because they
just
need to have a
never
conversation
stop.
with me.
They never.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Horrible.
I mean, it sucks too when you're the only person talking in chat. You say hey, and then like you're having a conversation for about
3 or 4 minutes, and nobody else has said anything. It's like I almost feel like 100% obligated to just stay here till somebody else speaks.
Yep.
And it's just
Yep.
so hard to leave. It's
Yep,
so
yep,
hard
yep,
to leave.
yep. Totally feel you. And then like you don't want to make these like grand exits either. Like, I'm leaving.
Yeah,
Take it. You
yeah.
just want to leave. Like, and it's actually, I don't know how I feel about it either way, but it is weird when like a viewer will like be there and be like, all right, and they tell you like their whole plan for the rest of the day while they're leaving. It's like, okay, like just let every single
Yeah.
person know that one less viewer in the chat. Like, it's like you could just leave, but okay.
You know what my favorite is? That's not really my favorite. Is the all right? I'm gonna go start my stream. See
Oh
ya."
god. Oh god. But
And I know for a fact I've done that at least once.
oh yeah.
At
And
least twice.
I had honestly, I completely respect the hustle because
Oh yeah.
that's something you kind of are. You're in this like when you're first starting streaming, you're almost like in this weird predicament where you don't want to do stupid shit like that, but at the same time you're so desperate, like you're just like, I need to at least cause some sort of. I need to at least have some exposure. And this is the one way I get exposure, just by saying very humbly that I am going to start my stream now. But
Yeah,
it's so
you know-
cringe.
You know what was so nice was like Corporal Eric, man. I fucking look up to that guy so much because like just a genuinely like nice guy. I don't know him insanely well, but like him and Reed were streaming around the same time, and like Eric was, man. I had every Inferno question in the book for him because I was learning Inferno at the time, and like I would message him and. I never streamed Inferno once because I knew how bad I was. But I would message him and be like, "Hey, I got a mage blob range behind the pillar. What do I do?" And then he'd tell me the solve, and then I would run out and die, and I'd be like, "Thanks, got it, man."
Oh god.
And just be like, "Ah, man," like 30 minutes later, died at 60s. Like, man, like whatever. Like I just didn't want to tell him that like I couldn't do what he told me to do, but. I was doing chambers or something. I was like, I saw him at the bank. I said something. I was like, yeah, I just don't know how to do like melee tecton like in a solo. He was like, oh, well, like there's a method. And I was like, oh, well, I'm live right now. If you want to come like try and see what I'm doing wrong. So like he came in and, you know, gave me a follow. And then ever since then, anytime I talked in his chat, I got this like free, this freebie from him where he would just go, oh, are you going to stream today? And like that is way, way, way better than
Yep.
or like, hey, I gotta go to the store. I gotta drop my brother off. I'll see you later. Like I don't want to like just like peace out
Yeah.
because like he's been a homie. Well, then he asks, oh, are you gonna stream later? It's like,
That's
oh my
such
god,
a homie move.
that's like you just let me say I'm gonna go start my stream without me saying I'm gonna go start my stream. You know that like
Those are true homies. Like they got
Yeah.
you.
that was the man. Love Corporal Eric. And then I tried when I was learning Zami flicking because I really wanted to flick God Wars like him because he was just so I look up to him so much because he was just so good at the game. And he sent me like the sheet for it, and I just kept dying and dying and dying. And I didn't want to tell him or anything. Like, yeah, it's going good. Got like 20 kills. Like, they're all just like me face tanking with fucking mage spray on. It's just so bad.
No, it always it saddens me when, and people can play however they want, but it does sadden me when people will do like thousands of bandos, for example, and just never learn how to properly flick. It's like you just never truly experience the beauty of this boss, which is, do your own thing. You can say this is just easier for you, but I promise you, if you would have just spent some time and effort to learn this, you would have had way better of a time, because bandos sucks when you're face tanking it. It is the most horrible grind ever. You're getting 2 kill trips, maybe.
Oh my god, yeah.
And then just re-grinding out 40 goblins. Mine
What
goblins.
was crazy? Listening to Rocket on the cast when he was talking about how he did bandos on the first hardcore, and then talking to him after I started learning flicking, he's like, man, after seeing you doing flicking, I want to learn it, because I used to think that bandos was just 2 hits and walk under, but
nope.
There's like a whole thing to it. It's like, I feel like everything in the game is like, a preferred way that's, less effort, but once you do the high effort method, it becomes more fun, and that's what I'm excited about Combat Diaries for.
Yeah,
or combat achievements.
And it does take effort. That's the difference. Is this shit's not easy to just be like, I'm gonna go learn this. No, it's like I gotta set out some time and some horrible rage moments to learn this, but the benefit of it, it's like it's so good. I'm gonna go take a piss. We'll just take a little minute or 2 break, and I'll be back here
perfect.
in a second.
Oh, wait, real fast.
Go ahead.
This whole blank spot gets put on YouTube, right?
Yep. Unless I feel up to it to edit it, which I definitely could, but
okay, well, you don't. I'm just gonna say random words for 2 minutes until you're back.
Okay, you don't need a piss?
Nah, I'm good.
All right, I'll be back.
All right.
I'll be back in a sec.
All right, yeah, just stop me whenever. Bricks, yellow, salt and pepper, Nutter Butters, vitamin D. These are just things that are sitting on my desk right now. You might be thinking, why? Why do you have Nutter Butters, salt and pepper, vitamin D, glasses, and empty M&Ms? Oh my god, I broke it. Oh no. Well, let me tell you. I'm lazy. I'm a lazy fucking human. I don't give a shit about much. I don't give a shit about cleaning off my desk. That's why I got Nutter Butters. And vitamin. I need some vitamin D. Probably why my cock's so big. You should take some too. Helps you as a human. Unless you have something where you can't take it, then don't take it. Back to what I was saying. The color red.
All
Paint.
right.
Oh, he's back. Okay.
I'm back. I don't know what the hell was happening, but we're back.
Just some words and some things said, that's all.
Okay, I'm going to just say it right now. This is going to... I wish I wasn't cut off at a 4-hour mark, because it just puts this unnatural pressure on me that it's because of my hosting service. They won't allow anything above
no worries. Honestly, I don't feel pressured, because the less we get to, the more we get to the next time.
Exactly. So listen, I know, dude, I've said it before. I think the Sae Bae casts that have past guests on are going to be better than the new guests, which sounds hurtful to you maybe, and to anybody to have on the first time, but I'm just going to be honest.
Not at all.
Second time guest. Well, nobody's been on it a second time, so I guess it's hurtful to all 27 of you so far. So. Well,
the thing that I'm thinking right now is that just means when I come on next time, it's going to be that much fucking better. So, you know?
No, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So I feel bad because I always am like, come on guys, we need more topics, but I just like to have more topics than we can cover.
I feel like that's perfect, because I think that having more topics to touch on, even if you touch on them for 2 minutes, like right now, this one from Pink Clay says, yo! So that's a beautiful topic that I get to touch on for 15 seconds, and then we go on to the next one. So it's like, but if we have not enough topics, then there's like this. I wouldn't say awkwardness, but there's this need to fill the leftover
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
I don't want to
But
feel the need for that.
And that's kind of also the cool thing about the cast is, seriously, it could just run 2 hours. Like if we just ran out, like for any other guest, like we could go for an hour. If we literally just ran out and went for an hour, like, in fact, that would probably be a healthy change because honestly, if you've actually made it this far on the Sae Bae Cast and you've listened to the entire thing up until this point, type a 1 in the comments or in the chat. And I mean the entire thing, like no skipping. And then 2 if you just skip around.
I'm gonna be honest. I listened to the BC Guppy one twice, so that was like what,
Jeez.
7 hours that I listened to like in one workday, and then I listened to the first half because I wanted to hear again about the like maze changes he was proposing and stuff. So like I listened to that whole thing again, just because when he talked about sailing too, the passion that he was speaking about it with, I was like, oh my god, this is what old school needs. You know what? Get rid of the polling system. Jagex, work on sailing. Fuck Raids 3, work on sailing.
Guppy is, I love that guy.
Fucking insane brain for this game.
And he's
Appreciate
just
people
fun.
that
He's
like
so much
that.
fun to talk to.
Yeah.
Like it's a blast having him on. By the way, this is a little sellout, but we do have 2 deleted scenes of the BC Guppy cast on Patreon. But that's a little lot. That's the last time I'll sell out.
You just got my Patreon money, man.
And there, I don't, I'm not trying to sell out even more, but they are literally better than the cast themselves, in my humble opinion.
All right. Sae Bae's Twitter, yeah.
And we got a Defy deleted scenes too. The Defy cast, he didn't even know we were fucking recording until after it. So we covered some weird shit. But at the same time, I will always get consent if we have deleted scenes. I'll always get consent with the guy because some of the time I just won't say that I'm recording, but I am.
Is the deleted scenes what we talked about before, or did we talk after?
It's before and after. It's just like here and there, like. Just
Okay. Yeah. No, I appreciate that because what we talked about before was pretty good too.
Yeah. No, I always. For any future guests, I am always recording, but I will only ever publicize the things that I've fully had you consent to. So like when I say we're recording, that is the stuff that's going to be published, and the other shit I will cover. I will literally give you the audio before I ever publish anything, just so we don't.
Man,
that would be pretty fucked up if somebody was like, if I was in a Discord call and then somebody just published it. I'm like, bro, like Jesus.
When did I say? Yeah.
So I try to get all permissions first, but okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have one you want to look at? Because there's one that
Go for it.
I told Doug, right, the past tense of Doug. I said, listen, write me. I want to know what questions you want to ask me. And I feel like he just watched the Bo Burnham special. If you watched Bo Burnham.
I've seen a little bit just because my brother watches them occasionally, but
yeah, I think he just watched it and he has. I would love to hear your answer on this too, but do you think humanity's inability to adapt quickly enough to increasingly rapid society-altering technology changes will result in our species eventually devouring itself as social systems break down and the planet fails to meet the demands of its exploding population? 1 of 3.
Is this on the thread? Can I like reviews, or is this the private one? I can't remember.
It's the private one.
Okay.
I'm just gonna send it to you as an MGUR right now.
Okay, I see it.
Oh my God! Resulting in our extinction. Okay, yeah. Resulting in our extinction, in the exception of the handful of billionaires and their concubines who have left for Mars to watch from their lavish space domes as we all either starve or kill each other. Waiting at last to take what is their right, the entire planet Earth.
Damn.
That's why I like Doug. This is why I fucking love Doug, because he asked this fucking insane question and follows it up with, do you have a favorite cartoon from your childhood?
Okay, so the first one, very interesting. Dude, okay, so, maybe you just, like, get on the internet for a bit too long, but I've heard a lot of, like, things on, like, simulation theory and shit like that.
Oh,
And, dude, this is crazy. Listen to this. So this is something that was brought up. My brother talks about it as well. Like, it's almost like there has to be life after death simply because we're aware of our life right now. Like, this sounds really confusing and it doesn't make full sense, but at the same
I
time,
get where it's coming from.
like, you know what I mean? Like, what are the actual fucking chances that in the billions and billions of years, like, the universe has been here, that we are just now, like, experience? It's almost like it's too rare of something. It's almost too rare for us to just be experiencing our only life right now and being fully aware of what's happening without there having been a past or like a present. Like, do you know what I mean? And I don't know what I feel about a past, but I do feel like there has to be something. And honestly, I feel like there's probably both, like a past and a present. Like, I just don't fucking know. And
No, I get what you mean. And like at a very young age, I fucking had my questions on like why I'm alive, right?
yeah,
And one of the things I asked my mom, and she was like, "Oh my God, my fucking son is a spawn of Satan." I was like, "Mom, like, why do my eyes see what they see? Like, why am I not able to see from somebody else's eyes, and why can't I, or why haven't I before?" Or whatever I asked. But like, it's that I feel like it's that same concept of like, there's something, there's some perception we have on this life that is just like, how has this not happened before for us?
yeah. No, I can totally see that. I have these really deep thoughts. So like, my parents are religious, and like, I grew up in a religious household, but like, the older I got, I was just kind of like, I guess in the past 5 years mainly, I've just kind of like distanced myself completely and just been thinking with my own terms, which is weird because it's almost like when you grow up religious, it's like this indoctrination almost of like,
Oh,
and that
100%.
sounds way harsh, but at the
No,
same time, you were born into like something, or this is what it is, and don't question it, you know.
Yeah,
And so
dude.
it's so hard to
Oh.
like break free from that like completely, because I feel like I'm a pretty level-headed individual. I don't do drugs and stuff. Like, I feel like I have my head on pretty straight, and I can make educated like thoughts and decisions and shit. But I still feel that like deep down, like, oh, this is wrong because what I've grown up knowing my whole life is this, and
Yeah.
it's just so weird.
No, you're totally right to say it's like an indoctrination or whatever you said. Because like, dude, in what other setting are you born into that like you're just like sitting down for like, I don't know, 35 minutes, and all of a sudden everybody stands up and just starts fucking repeating something. Dude, I grew up Catholic, so like there's like this Apostles' Creed, which is literally just like you get up and you just like proclaim your faith in the middle of this sermon, the priest stops talking for like 45 seconds, you know, like everybody kind of wiggles in their chair a little bit, you hear the pews creak, and then everybody just starts saying these same exact words on the same tick for like a minute, almost 2 minutes straight.
God damn it, dude. The ticks, man. No, okay, yeah, but okay, so here's one thing. I will never and this is not to say like you were just doing it, but like, I will just, like, you know what, if I will be totally happy with any belief that anybody has. Like, I'm
Yeah.
happy for you. I just feel like it's really sad when somebody doesn't believe something and they keep living that, or like, you know,
Yeah.
there was a moment when I first started streaming. For the first like few months, I would have like sleepless nights where I would just think like, why am I here on Earth? Like, what is the fucking purpose? And I would think about a lot of things, like my upbringing and stuff like that. Like, why like is all this happening? And I eventually came to the conclusion where it's like, you know what? I want to live a life of passion where I am doing things because I want to do them and I believe in them, and not because I need to like be socially like accepted by people.
Yeah. Yeah.
it was a really cool like moment I had, and it was for a few months, I feel like, where I just finally broke free of like, I have to do this because my parents want me to do, or I have to do this because this is like what I've planned on doing when I was a kid, and I need to do, if I don't do this, then, you know, like whatever. And it got to the point where I was like, you know what? Like I'm a grown adult, which has never happened before in my entire life. I am now able to make my own decisions. Like,
Yeah.
why don't I live a life where I believe it? And, you know, I don't know what the hell, I don't know why the hell I'm here, but like at the same time, the worst thing, like literally, I think it's just horrible when people live a life where they don't actually like believe in what they're doing. They'll fake it or something, but it's like,
Yeah, I had those like same like waking up realization. I'd wake up in the morning. My dad would fucking I didn't have a job, and my dad would just like open the door. My light would be off. I'd be sleeping. He'd just be like, "Wake me up. Do you got a job yet?" It's like,
that's
"No."
exactly
Like,
my dad.
I'm fucking sitting in bed. No, I don't have a fucking job. So I'd then just like
That's
lay in bed and just
exactly
think
my
like,
dad, dude.
I just what am I fucking doing with my life right now? Like,
Yeah.
fucking and then I used to get I never experienced anxiety like I get like I wouldn't say it's anxiety, but maybe it is, but I get like socially uncomfortable, right? So that's like the closest thing to like social anxiety that I have, right?
Yeah.
Well, like I used to fucking have panic attacks laying in bed like what am I going to fucking do with my life and why am I doing this right now? And then eventually it just came down to like well, like I'm not doing anything productive with my time, right? Even if I was streaming at the time, I wasn't making any money. Not that it was ever my goal to, but I wasn't it's not like I was a big content creator where like people just wanted to watch me and wanted to laugh and have fun with what I was doing. It was like I was just playing RuneScape sweating for like 16 hours a day. It was not it's like what we were talking about earlier where like you can't just do that and expect results. You got to like go, put yourself out there in other ways other than just going live at first.
Yeah.
So like but that whole everything came back to me in these moments of just like this setting that I'm in is just it's not that it was toxic, but it wasn't helping me progress in any way, shape, or form. So I had to change something about it, and that was like my realization one morning. I'm laying there and I'm breathing super heavy, I'm sweating out of my neck, and then I just decided like I just need to go like work my ass off because that's like something I can do.
Yeah. Yeah. And life is so weird. Like,
Oh yeah.
and that's the other thing is like, if everyone has their time, like you can't force somebody to like do something when it's like not really their time to do it. Like for
Yeah.
example, like you had your moment of realization. What's to say like that doesn't mean that's everyone's moment of realization. Like, oh, now I did it. Everyone has to do it. And so
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
people like I know it's a meme, but like boomers are definitely
Yeah, no, my
like
dad is a
I've done
boomer,
it, so you have to. It's like, dude,
Yep.
you have to let people live their life. Because, dude, I would be so unhappy if I had made decisions like prematurely, like before the time came, or like, like everything comes in its time. And the
100%.
other thing is like, I'm fucking glad I'm 26 now. Like, I'm glad I'm past the age of like 25 because I feel so much more like independent and just like a real person. I don't feel like I'm my parents' child anymore. I feel like I'm my own individual and I have a fully developed frontal lobe and I know what the hell is going on now.
Yeah.
And I get excited about aging, which is really weird. Like I'm actually
I
like I like getting older.
I don't think you're getting excited about aging. I think you're getting excited about maturing.
Yeah,
Like, and you can find you're mature enough now to see it.
that's true.
Because
And
like yeah,
yeah, no, good.
good.
I was just gonna say like it's just cool because I understand life is really short, and like the other cool thing is life is full of mistakes and just messing up, doing things again, like retrying, doing a bunch of shit. And so like I don't know, I know I'm just like preaching basically, but I'm not trying to pull it off that way. I'm just trying to say like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like everyone lives their own life. You got to do what you got to do, and I don't even know
Everybody
where I'm
has
going
like
at this point.
now everybody has these like certain maturing states where like your mindset like comes in, like your situation is like the first part, and then your mindset just like helps, further what your situation is like imposing on your maturity. And like that's like when I was younger, my brother was like in and out of jail, in like selling drugs at my house. So like my fucking maturity level, like when I was 16, I felt like I was 23. And now I'm 23, I feel like I'm 16 because I can finally like be. I mean, I understand what I need to do in my life. I have my goals. I have everything set out that I want to do, and I have my finances like in order that I see fit. So it's like I've matured to the point where I can, like you said, you don't feel like you're your parents' kid. I live at home and I don't feel like I'm like my
Yeah.
parents' kid. I feel like I'm my own adult. But it's like when I was like 16, I was trying to move out because I just didn't want to be around this environment that was presented to me. So now it's like now I have a good environment and I'm making good money. I'm doing what I want, and I see a career in my future and a goal that I'm working towards. It's like my maturity levels, I'm nearing 30. I'm about to fucking walk out on my balcony at 4 p.m. with a glass of scotch in my hand and fucking look at the sunset or something. Like that's just in my mind what I feel like is like my maturity level is happening.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have happened if I didn't have that morning where I'm fucking laying in bed with no job. I have $14 in my bank account that keeps getting taken out and putting back in because the bank account needs $350 in it to stay open. But I just so happen to know the CEO of the bank, so he's keeping it open for me. Like all these things that were just like fucking with my mental were just like they all went dead weight at the same time. And if that didn't happen, I would still be working my dead end job with no goals of being a master electrician, no goals of streaming, probably even. I'd be just waking up and having panic attacks still, just because that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So I don't know, environment and stuff. Yeah, how do we get here? Fuck.
Dude, we are still on Doug's thing. Let's move on to his next question. Do you have a favorite cartoon from your childhood?
Samurai Jack.
So it depends, because okay, so we were, I don't know, we weren't really allowed to watch we weren't allowed to watch rated R movies or anything, and we weren't allowed to like play rated M games and stuff like that. So we had like restrictions, but my dad grew up watching like Simpsons.
Uh-huh.
Or I guess not grew up, but he started watching Simpsons and stuff in like college and stuff, and so he loved it, and so we got to watch Simpsons when we were like really young, which was like a lot of my friends weren't allowed to watch that because it was like mature,
Yeah,
that
I
was
wasn't allowed to watch it.
absolutely my favorite childhood cartoon, which sounds like not like a childhood cartoon, but
Yeah,
we watched Simpsons every single weekday night. There'd be 2 episodes of Simpsons, 2 episodes of Malcolm in the Middle, and
oh
holy
man,
God,
I love Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm is
So I
great.
wasn't allowed to watch Simpsons because of Bart. Because Bart was like disrespectful to his parents. My parents didn't want me to interpret that as like something I can do. So
That's
yeah.
so funny.
My parents were like super strict about everything until I was like in middle school basically. And then they were just like, yeah, everything's okay. Like you can do whatever. Like I was watching Family Guy and stuff, and they're like, "Are you watching Family Guy?" I was like, "Yeah, it's funny." And they're like, "Okay." Like
We had to
like
hide. So when Breaking Bad was premiering, we had to hide to watch that shit. We moved
oh
out of the
yeah.
house. My parents are just watching in the living room. Like we had to literally hide to like watch this, and now my little brother's just watching it with the family. Like, huh?
Dude, when I got my PC and like I started getting like rated M games and stuff, I would be like playing, and I purposely set up my monitor so that you couldn't see it when you like walked into my room. I was so amazed they even let me have my computer in my room, but it's because like
Yeah.
I was like making videos and stuff in high school.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'd be like, "Hey, can you keep it down? I'm trying to record something." And then I'd like talk for a little bit, and then they start talking like, "Come on, like I'm trying to record something." And they're like, "All right, move your fucking shit in your room. We don't want to hear you." So
So like eventually that happened, and then when I got my PC my freshman year for Christmas, uh, that was fucked, by the way. My brother was like, "Oh, Neil really wants a PC. Like we can like pitch in like this much money, and then he can pay the rest." Thanks, Stu. I didn't have the fucking money to pay the rest of the time. I was buying a bunch of weed at the time. Anyhow, fucking Christmas morning rolls up. I'm like, "You guys got me a fucking computer?" And my dad's like, "Yeah, you owe me $450." I was like, "What? It's Christmas. You're gonna say I owe you money on Christmas?" It was so funny. Looking back on it, it's so funny. But at the time, I was like, "This is fucked, man. I have to fucking pull out like $450 for my savings." And yeah, that was pretty funny looking back on it. At the day of, I was ecstatic to get my computer, not ecstatic to pay $450. Then when I got rated M games, though, I was like, fucking tilted my monitor a little bit. Somebody would walk in, alt tab, alt tab, alt tab, alt tab, alt tab. Oh, okay, I'm just typing my paper. Like,
Yeah. No,
oh,
it's always it's always funny when you're like hide stuff, but it's so clear to like your parent. Like
Oh.
I'd be playing Call of Duty in my room, and like I wasn't allowed to, but I'd still play it. And my dad would just walk in, and like he clearly can see it, and I'd have it pause. I'm like, yeah, like what's up, like. But he wouldn't say anything. Like my dad's very particular in the way he like deals with shit.
Yeah.
And so like he just won't bring it up if it's not like so apparent. Like it's so weird. My dad, like I respect my dad a ton. I love him, but some interesting parenting choices, but I respect it.
Yeah, and then like back on Doug's thing, my favorite cartoon, it wasn't even like my childhood cartoon. It was just like when I was 10 or 11, I met like my best friend, still hang out with him. But I was at his house like spending the night in the 4th grade, and fucking I am always the early riser. Out of all my friends, I wake up the earliest, and I just like don't know what to do because I'm at my friend's house, and you know there's nothing really to do. When I'm at my house at school, I just play games,
Yep.
and then they wake up, and yeah. But I'm like, I'm sitting, I'm awake, I'm just like sitting there, not doing shit. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna go to the bathroom and like go out to the living room, and it's like 6:30. Like what fucking 4th grader wakes up at like 6:30? But I just can't sleep at other people's houses, so.
Yeah, I feel that.
I went out there and his fucking dad has like a big ass bowl of cereal and he's just starting an episode of Samurai Jack and he was like, "Hey, Neil, is it? Yo, grab a bowl of cereal, come watch." I was like, "Fuck yes, I've never seen this show." But like after that, like every weekend I went over, he would put on a new episode for me.
Samurai
And, like,
Jack was pretty badass. I can't say I watched a bunch of it, but I do vividly remember watching episodes of it in my childhood.
that
and
was
it was
the
just
coolest
badass.
shit. Yeah, the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I guess like the other like show I watched a lot of was fuck, it's something on Cartoon Network. Like Johnny Test or something like that. I don't know.
I remember Johnny Test, but I never watched. I thought it was too like mainstream. I was like, eh.
I fuck. There's also like all the Nickelodeon shows. I don't know. I watched a lot of cartoons as a kid just 'cause like
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what I
I had a
liked?
PS2, but that was it.
I liked what was it called? What was that show called with like Cyborg and the kids? What was that?
Oh, Teen Titans?
Teen Titans. That was
Dude,
fucking
that was
great.
so good.
That was good.
So
Teen
good.
Titans was fucking good. I'll admit that.
Also, Kids Next Door was like the Cartoon Network,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
super knockoff of that. I
Yeah.
feel like that show was. I didn't think it was like amazing, but I definitely watched it.
Yeah. All right.
Um,
Now go ahead.
do you want to fire off these questions
Wait,
and then go?
I want to. Well, we have so. You know what? You lead it for a little bit. I wanted to cover Tasties real quick.
No.
We can just fire off Tasties, and then we'll kind of go with you because like I've been leading it. You can choose things that pop out to you. This is your cast, man.
Okay, hang
So-
on. What Doug's last one that pops out to me is
Go
which
ahead.
is the faster way to a man's heart, his stomach or his prostate?
Honestly, for me, it's my stomach.
Have you ever had your ass eaten by a woman?
No.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with option 2 here.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, you know, chat can dance game me all they want, but you know what? Don't knock until you try it.
Yeah, no, yeah, you gotta fuck. We are talking about that on the Tasty Cast, like really cleaning your, learning how to
Oh
clean your
yeah.
butthole as a dude. It's
Okay,
not
so
gay. It's not gay to
it's not.
reach down there.
It's actually healthy for some
Yes.
people, like myself. I have a bowel problem, let's just say. So like an enema definitely helps.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
I've done an enema a couple times.
um yeah, I had a really bad like appendicitis that went on for 10 months and it fucked my
Fuck.
stomach up. Dude, the doctors just was like, "Oh, you have really good insurance? Go take a CAT scan every 2 weeks for 10 months."
Jesus.
So like they just like wrote off like, you know, like $11,000. I think it was almost 20 grand every month for my insurance just to
Fuck.
put me through this machine, and then like afterwards I'd like be throwing up my guts like a week and a half or 2 weeks later and then just back in the hospital.
I'm so sorry.
It sucked.
Yeah, that sounds
Dude,
horrible.
I had the worst diet ever. I was like only eating fast food. I drank Dr. Pepper like it was water. Now I eat so healthy and clean because of that. I needed that to happen in my life. Like
Damn.
that was like a necessity for me to be any percent healthy. I'm sorry. Let's go to Tasties.
Yeah, no, yeah, that diet is very important, especially as a gamer when you're not moving much.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
All right, Tasty asks, would he be willing to go on another dinner date with me?
That was amazing. I got to meet Uncle and Tasty within 2 days of each other.
Oh shit,
Um,
yeah, how was that? I remember you went out with Uncle, but I never heard about with Tasty.
my cousin was so fucking mad at me. She thought I was gonna die. And like for honestly, for a second, Unc started playing like this crazy screamo shit in my car, and I thought I was gonna die too. But you know, Unc's pretty chill. He's super bass, so it was just like we went and got Vietnamese food, and my cousin ordered pizza, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna go out to dinner with a friend of mine. Like I played games with him like this whole last year. We basically just like become like, you know, like half brothers over like this COVID shit because we've just been nonstop like hanging out in Discord and stuff. And she's like, I just ordered pizza. You're gonna leave? And she's like, not the petty type, but she was being a fucking bitch about it. And like, I love my cousin so much, and I was like, you're gonna be mad, but you know what? Like, I'm only out here for 3 days or whatever. I'm gonna go hang out. So I'll see you later. So I drove over, met him there, and then like we went on like a fucking mission. Like picked up his cousin, went to the Medi, went back to his cousins, watched Dave Chappelle for like 2 hours, and like they were smoking. I don't smoke because like my job, but I was just like hanging out, just laughing my ass off, just fucking. It was just like the most like sick experience ever. And then I drove him back to his car and then back to my cousins. Then the next
Damn.
night, I got to hang out with Tasty, and you know what? I didn't know what to expect because I had only known Tasty for like 3 weeks or something.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be in the area if you want to grab like a beer or something." And he's like, "Oh yeah, there's also another guy that turns out he's from chat and he lives right around the corner, so he might join." And then like 20 minutes before, I'm like leaving late, and he's like, "He's not joining. I'm at this place," and it was. I think we talked about it on his stream, so I'm pretty sure he's okay with me saying, but it's called the Cornish pasty, and it's basically just like meats in like a bread, flaky bread crust, and
Okay.
it was so fucking good. And the beers we got were so good, and I'm pretty sure they accidentally gave us free beers. Yeah, they gave us free beers because one guy took the order and another guy made it, but the guy that took the order also like got our drinks, so we just got like 2 free beers just delivered to us. And
Oh
I was
yeah.
just like, man, this is just must be what it's like to be Tasty. Just you get free beer, you have fucking a bountiful amount of women that just always want to drive your Tesla, and yeah, it was honestly like one of the most like great things because he's pretty new to Twitch, and like I
Yeah.
had been on for a few
So
years.
new.
Also, my cousin is a hairstylist, so she bleached my hair that night and bleached my mustache. So I had like this Hulk Hogan mustache going on, and
Oh my God.
yeah, he was the first person to see it and one of the last people because I shaved it a couple weeks later when I was going out to the club. I was like, I'm not doing
Yeah.
this. I'm not doing this.
All right, he asks, if you were guaranteed to earn as much or more streaming as you do with a real job, would you go full-time streaming?
That's such a hard question. Because, like, right now, streaming is like the balance that brings the fun to my life after I get the satisfaction of working. But I'd have to find something that streaming would make as satisfying as what I do. Because what I do is, like, a company will call, my engineers and say, hey, I need a panel that, like, let's say a pharmaceutical company calls my engineers. They say, hey, I need a panel that does this. It pumps air from these valves so that we can get the correct amount of, you know, pill juice to, serve to people, whatever the fuck what are those called? Like chemical? I don't know what they're fucking called.
I have no idea.
Minerals and stuff that go into pills, right? A pharmaceutical company will ask us to build, I don't program it, but I get the blank slate of like building it all. Like I get to make it look good, and I get to go see it when it's installed, and it's the most satisfying thing knowing that like what I did here this last like 60 hours of working on this is going to be used for 2,000 hours in this next year.
Yeah.
There is going to be 2,000 hours of work coming out of this for people to take medicine, to whatever they need, we build. So it's like the satisfaction of what I do on a daily basis is so far beyond I think what streaming could give me. Because at the end of the day, the satisfaction is based on the day.
Yep.
Whereas like when I go into work, I have some satisfying work to be done. Sometimes it's not all that satisfying because I build stuff that's going to be in a vault 40 feet underground and nobody's ever going to see it, but it's doing its job, and that's putting, heating or air conditioning into an area. It's putting lights to turn on and off. It's making a ride at a amusement park go the correct speed and not kill people. Like that's insane to me that what I do on a daily basis is just being used everywhere it goes.
And the difference between streaming is it's just with a normal job, it's so much more like you can depend on it almost. Like
Yeah.
streaming can just I don't know. Streaming is so unknown. Like you really don't know what's happening. Like
It's honestly kind of scary, but it's also exciting.
yeah, no, it's both, and that's the beauty and the what's the other word? What's the opposite of beauty of streaming? I don't know.
The beast?
The beast. The beauty and the beast of streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be a substantial amount more for me to go full time.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is like you can almost guarantee if you're making like right now, if I made as much as I made, I'd need like 1,000 subs per month. So it's like if I had 1,000 subs streaming 4 hours a day, well then if I go full time, what's the percentage increase because I'm streaming for a more wider audience,
Yeah.
So it's almost like if I were to make enough money, then go full time, it would just hand in hand be more than I'm making now. But the only problem with that is I get raises every so many hours that I work, I get a raise. So it's like it's not guaranteed when I'm streaming. But he is saying in a guaranteed, I'd honestly probably do it. Because like the skills that I've learned, I can fall back on.
Yeah.
And that is a beautiful thing. And that's why I wanted to do this trade that I'm in, is because I know we're going to have electricity until, we EMP the world to shit. So even then, we're still going to fucking be making electricity. So I'll just have more work to do when all the EMPs go off,
Yeah. Now there's just security in jobs. You feel
100.
Yeah, that security is huge. Favorite game besides RuneScape?
Favorite RPG, like single player, would be Skyrim. Skyrim, I've played that game far too many times. Multiplayer game, I don't know. I fucking love Minecraft. That's just like a game I've always loved. I love CS, and recently Recently, I've been loving CS. I don't know. I want to get into GTA RP because GTA is one of my favorite games. It's like just a great, shitty physics, mechanics, and a good game. And I love the aspect of role playing. I've never
Yeah.
done it,
Yeah.
but like
It sounds fun.
everybody that I've talked to or that I've mentioned to would be like, you would be so good at GTRP, and it's just I would feel weird at first because it's like you're living a lie, and that's why I actually like didn't
Yep.
we called it Fame, which is like fine arts, music and something, and it was basically like you were in the plays in elementary school if you were in Fame, but like the last year they just made us be in the plays. And I didn't like doing the acting because it was like I'm pretending to be somebody I'm not, and that's just weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Even though it's like a script and it's a role and it's only for like the theatrical performance, it just didn't feel right. That's
I-
why I didn't want to answer any of these questions prior to
Yeah. I
the
feel
cast. Is I wanted it to be like
totally organic in you, exactly what you're
yeah,
feeling in the moment.
they're in chat asking this,
Yep.
and I'm just responding to chat. That's kind of what I wanted.
I hated drama. I was in the wheel, is what they called it, at
Uh-huh.
my middle school, and it was just like every 6 weeks change classes. And drama I fucking hated.
Yeah.
I hated drama. I hated like having to memorize like monologues, or not even memorize them, just like go up there and pretend I'm a different. I was like, "Ugh, this is so
Yeah.
cringe.
Yeah, that's how I felt it. I felt it to be was just cringe.
Okay. He says a lot of players feeling burnt. There's an undeniable downturn in the community's attitude right now. Why do you think that is, and what can GagX do about it?
I really don't think it's what Gagix can do. I really think it's what the player can do. Right now, I think is like the best time for people that don't already to learn content they're either scared to learn or
That's so
like
easier. That's so much easier said than done. Like,
100%.
yeah.
100%. But
No, you have
I
to
don't
do
know.
it. You have to do it. No, I completely
There-
agree with you.
Yeah.
Just saying, like, yeah,
There's like this just overarching Raids 3
it's really
like
bad. Yeah.
winter 2017 is when Raids 3 is coming out, guys. So why don't you instead like go for a solo theater KC? That seems like one of the most tedious things to miss one ticket on Verzik and there goes 50 minutes of your life.
Yep.
Time to go do it again. That seems extremely tedious, but the satisfaction of finishing the KC is probably 30 times what your first Inferno Cape was. You can always go for a fast Inferno Cape time. The only reason I fucking gave up on that is because I fucking couldn't stand tutorial skipping. I work 8 hours, I come home, I tutorial
Yep.
skip for 4 hours,
Fuck that.
and I still don't have a task. It's like I just can't be asked at that point.
Whatever happened to that option where they said you could just do tasks, not get capes or tackle or anything, and just
I
Go
don't
for-
know, but I honestly don't think the speedrunning community even wanted that because it
Really?
actually would. I I couldn't say for all of them, but I feel like there's some people there that, if you get to go in unlimited amount of times, it takes away that like
that funness,
I
like
wouldn't
that,
I wouldn't say the funness, but it takes away
like you earn this.
yeah. Cuz
Yeah,
you die on
feel
task.
You. I feel you. But
That's how I feel about it. If you die on task, you know what it becomes? It just becomes another speedrunning game to me. Because like when they created emulators, you could go into an emulator and just hit a few buttons and then practice a skip for 3 hours. And then once you got a skip, you could go into an actual run and it's like you never had the struggle of doing it all the way up like on the
Is that
newer
bad,
emulators.
though?
No. I don't think so.
I
I
don't
just
feel
think
like that's
that
either.
there's some. I don't think that I just think there's some people in the community that are high enough on the the speedrun. Again, I could just get a lot of flack for this because I don't actually ask, but I feel like people will say it's devaluing their times because they skipped for 4 hours before they did their task and they did their task and ended up getting a sub 50. So it's like, yeah. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but I just
No,
think that there's some
I can
people
see
that will.
I also don't know, but
Well, it's
Good
just
insight.
that fucking old school mind state of I had to do it, you do too.
Yeah.
So that's what I figure
That
is probably
mindset,
gonna.
however, it like for it's RuneScape. Like keep that in mind. Like so, some people
Mm.
like they'll literally bring up that meme of like I had to do it, so you have to do it, and they put that meme up of like these people stuck to the train track, and they're like, we already killed all these people. Should we just keep going, or should we change directions? Like that is such a shitty
Oh
representation of
yeah,
this because it's like
yeah.
it's like saying, should we make mining 1 mil XP an hour? You guys all had to suffer. Like, dude, it's fucking RuneScape. We got to keep some sort of like standard to it.
Yeah, I agree.
So like where do you draw the line where it's like you just don't want this because it's like if they did Nightmare, if they made Nightmare like 10 times as common, so it literally takes like I don't know 100 hours to complete, I'd be like, bro, like you can't just do that. Well, you just don't want it because you already had to suffer. Why do you want to make us suffer? It's like it's not about suffering. It's about keeping this game balanced. Like
Yeah,
God, like
especially for. I mean, just fucking Inquisitors, the niche use it is, it's still BIS at some places. It
Yeah.
needs to have the requirement time-wise to be best in slot. I couldn't stand how they made a jaw for the best in slot helmet. Is what level Slayer is that fucking monster? 40 or is it 55?
I don't even
Oh,
know.
it's
But
60. 60 for a best in slot item. You have to be 60
Yeah.
Slayer and do
That-
a Grandmaster quest that isn't Grandmaster level.
that helmet was just the stat, like everything about the helmet's great. Prayer bonus, defensive bonus,
Mhm.
strength bonus, no negatives. Like okay, like literally I posted on social media, mainly on Reddit. Of course it got no traction because it's something that is balance, but um I was just saying like there has to be some negative to this. There's a negative with the SERP. Like
Yeah.
it's got
It's
negative offensive, like, and it's like you have to have balance. This is an OP helmet. And
I also hate how it looks too, and so they really didn't do me any favors with putting that in this game.
I don't like how I like how the helmet looks at a side view, but as soon as you look
Yeah.
face
Yep.
forward, you look like a dumbass. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And so yeah, with things like that, how is that balanced when like the time investment isn't even there?
Yep.
For me to get a best in slot helmet, the time investment, at least when I go to Zora, you get max like in max gear, you get like what 27, 26 kills an hour, or is it up to 30?
It's like 30. Zora?
Oh wait,
Wait, what'd you
with
say?
harm and stuff. Yeah, Zora.
I can get 30 with the T-bow only. I have a video of it.
Oh, what? I guess I haven't done Bow Zora since I had a main. I only did Bow Zora on mobile too, because I didn't want to. When I'm sitting at the game, I guess I want to play. So like I want to do the switches and stuff. But yeah, so 30 kills an hour at Zora. That's still. Are we counting as? Do you count it as a 1 in 512 or 1 in 128?
I think it won
For
in
a cert.
512.
Yeah, so 512. I'm really bad at math, so this is going to be scuffed. But I can use the calculator. 17 hours for the best in slot helmet. Now I couldn't even tell you what it is because I don't know how many you kill an hour, but it just doesn't seem like the time investment is there. Whereas like, and then at Zora, you have to keep doing Zora to charge it. Whereas like you get this best in slot helmet from Knights and it's like, okay, now I literally have the best in slot helmet for anything.
Yeah.
There's
It's-
no point in not using this helmet.
There's a lot of balance issues I have. I have
Fuck all
so many
fucking night.
so many rants on that. Let's cover Uncle Bitches, or I should just say Uncle now. His name's still Uncle Bitches on here, but let's
Yeah,
cover.
it's the OG
Let's
name.
quickly go through some of these of uncles. Why is Lopsy the most underrated streamer? He goes live as much as Whale now. Feels bad, man.
I would love to go live as much as fucking Whale, Jesus. Yeah, nah, inconsistency would be the answer to that. I feel like a lot of people know of me, but not a lot of people like also follower counts, right? I feel like it's really pointless to follow somebody if you're not gonna watch them.
I agree.
Like I have 1,700 followers, and I think my average view stream is like 26, which is like grateful for 26 average, honestly. but it's just like that number of 1,700, and like the amount of live notifications that get sent out is like 1,500 or something. It's like 4 people click on them. It's like,
Yeah. No, I mean
well,
I have streams where I'll average way lower viewers just because of just some things out of my control. But it's like, geez, I have like 7,000 followers, and I get like
yeah, I don't know.
one in
The
however many people come.
Yeah, the average of like, I don't know, my average was doing really good when I was streaming every day, but I just got burnt. And then like you said, when you don't want to like invest your time into somebody who could just do that again. Just 6-month hiatus where they went live
Yep.
twice in the time. And no, I totally get it, but I just had, I have a job. I have things that I gotta, my real life that I have to take part in. And I wish I could go live just like every single day. But it's just not insanely realistic.
Okay. Favorite song. I'm skipping through these, and I want to get to Raids 3 because I know you have some
My
stuff,
God.
some stuff prepared. But
Before,
we literally are just running out of time. I
yeah,
knew this would
no.
happen.
Before we go Raids 3, I want to go through like all the like very short Twitter posts.
Go
If that's
for it.
cool.
Let's do it. You just tell me who it is, and I'll go there on my
Okay,
tweet.
a cold one says exclamation point play question mark. That guy never play marbles. If that guy's in your chat, he's already won. I don't know how he does it. And then Daisei says how exactly do you do it? Don't be whale. Dirt Nerd asks, why is Dirt Nerd so goated?
And then what did Sakon reply to that? I didn't remember seeing that.
Marilyn Manson looking ass. I think it's just 'cause he's very self-centered.
Alright.
I'm saying your tweet is like a homie removing his ribs to suck his own dick. I love Sekon. You know that?
I love Sakon.
Sekon was super drunk one night and just calling out a bunch of people on stream, and it was one of the fucking funniest things I've ever seen. He even called me out for being a wannabe XQC, but you know what?
I fucking love Sakon. And
That guy,
we
funny as
dude,
hell.
again, the last self-promotion, I promise, but I actually have a recording that Sekon may or may not have validated for releasing as a deleted scenes. It's technically not a Sae Bae Cast, but it's a deleted scenes of a like 3-hour drunk sesh with Sekon of us
Oh
talking
my,
shit.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it is fucking S tier. So I might
that's
upload
amazing.
shit just on there just for fun. Any RuneScape content creator, but anyway, keep going.
Tibbykins says no questions, don't know to do well, but dropped in for a few streams. Dude's legit as fuck. If I had more time, I'd know life is chat. That means a fucking lot, my guy. Femdom GF. This is my girlfriend. She asks, is Loppy single? Well, that's my girlfriend. So that answers that. Ollie says, what are your goals on RuneScape right now? What's the end goal in the iron? I think I answered that, didn't I? End
Yeah, I
goal in the
think so.
iron, max. When will you drop the OnlyFans? Because bang, 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 credit card, credit card, credit card, bang, 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 credit card, credit card, credit card, credit card, bang, bang, credit card, credit card, credit card. That's from Ty, almost breezy.
I'm
Um,
I'm literally just scrolling through his whole list. I can't find any of them. I'm just like constantly like looking. The chat's getting dizzy, man. Keep going.
okay, well,
Keep going.
I want to make a joke OnlyFans, and it's just like me sticking my feet in like grease buckets and stuff, like just weird shit. I don't know. I think it'd be funny. That's all the short ones I can see. Um,
I see
Zoe
dirt nerds.
asks,
I see dirt nerds. When are Minecraft streams coming back?
oh man, whenever I'm burnt, I want to stream Minecraft because I want to get like a sub 30, 80%, 116 run, which is just like very fast, kill the dragon, end the game. What's that?
I was just gonna say, like, we have to. Some of these topics we're not gonna be able to fully get into, and obviously we know, but there will be a second Lopsi Sae Bae Cast, 100%.
That'll
Probably
be amazing.
probably like literally, I'm thinking like end of the summer already. Like I'm genuinely like I don't feel like we got enough off.
You know what? You invite me whenever, and I'm sure I have the time. Especially like if I'm not working 12s, and even if I am on a Saturday, if that's cool. I don't know, like if you want to always have these come out on Tuesdays
No, they're not
or
always.
like record them. Yeah, so I'm always free on like Saturday. I only work 8 hours. If I'm working overtime, I only work 8 hours on Saturday. Or if I work 12, I'm usually up to whatever because I have Sunday off. So, but yeah.
Real fast, Zoe asks, can you tell us about your DJing experience and what got you most inspired to create music? I actually got inspired to create music because I was fucking sick of listening to, like, I listen to hip hop and I just felt like a lot of the beats were the same basis, and that's like where DJing came into play. I was like, dude, I just want to like mix music to make it sound like it's its own song. And then I DJ'd for like my mom worked at a church, so I DJ'd for like middle school dances with like all censored lyrics and stuff. It was so fucking cringe. And then did a couple weddings. Weddings were so fucking lit because I was like 15 or 16 and they were just like, "Yo, don't tell your mom and dad, but here's some champagne." And like whatever else they had. So
Shit.
like and I was making like $1,200 to just fucking go play music. So
Wow,
that
that's
was
awesome.
amazing. I love DJing weddings. Yeah. And then after that, I just didn't really like DJing as much because it was like a lot of effort to just like do a house party and then get puked on, or somebody saying like, "Oh, this song sucks." It's like, you're not DJing and you're drunk as fuck and you need to shut your mouth. So yeah,
Oh my god.
it was pretty funny. Like when somebody says like this song sucks, it's like didn't you just throw up in that planter over there? And then like they shut up. And it's like, yeah.
That's funny as fuck, dude. Shit sounds like it comes from a movie. It's funny.
It's like the only thing I can think of that didn't happen at the parties was like that I wish happened was like that scene from Super Bad where the chick's dancing on him, he gets like period blood on his pants. I just wish I could have called somebody out for that while I was DJing. That's like the only thing I was missing.
Oh god.
All right, and then I just open up the notepad. Oh my god, I have so many things I want to fucking
Listen,
talk
listen,
to you
listen,
about
listen,
too.
listen. So we can briefly cover some shit, or we can like make a decision now to save it. But I know things will change in a couple months, so it's up to you. Would you like to like just save the whole Raids 3 topic, because there's no way Raids 3 is coming out before we get you back on.
Dude,
It's just
honestly,
it's up to you, because yeah,
how much time do we have?
we are literally at 19 minutes left before we have to,
Oh
like,
yeah,
end.
there's no shot. There's no
Yeah.
shot. Okay. Yeah.
This
The
shit
ba-
goes
the
so
main-
fast.
It
Yeah, no,
really
go-
does. You know, I feel like we've been talking for like 8 hours.
I feel like we've been talking for like 20 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't mean like in terms of like it feels like, oh my god, this conversation going forever. I just feel like we've talked about so many things that could fill up 8 hours if
That's
we just
true.
kept
That's
talking
true.
about them. There's
No, this
one
is
thing
fun.
I
Like
want to say.
I want to fucking continue this. I really do.
No, this has been great. I really expected like 3 hours, but like with all the Twitter comments, like holy shit, I did not expect this. Like thank you guys for I I am not a very large streamer, but the amount of people that have, put in what they want us to cover and stuff is amazing.
Dude, I'm just being real with you. This has been one of the most enjoyable casts I've
Oh,
done
that
thus
that
far.
means so much because like you sound like all the casts sound great. Like by the end, like you guys, dude, you know what I thought when I heard the Defy cast? I felt like he was just like out for blood on like some of the Sae Bae agendas. So like when I was listening to it, I was like, man, why does Defy play old school but hate old school? Because he was just talking about RS3, like
yeah.
how everything's a knockoff. But then like at the end of it, it just sounded like I forgot everything that you guys had talked about because it just sounded like you guys were like really good friends and just like having a chat at the end. And
Yeah.
like
It definitely
yeah,
did feel that way. Yeah.
yeah, I loved it though. I loved the almost tension at the start of it.
That's
'Cause
what
it just
that was the Did you watch the Lane cast?
yeah.
Okay, that was tense. She was also out for blood with a few things, which I like though, because people like that tension. When it's just agreeing, yeah, it's fun and all, but it's like that tension though. It's like, oh, like
Yeah,
there's
I know.
active disagreements.
I think it's great to have disagreements. Either one person, sees the other view and grows on their opinion, then grows, or it's content. So,
I totally agree.
I will say though, for all my Raids 3 ideas,
heavily based on being in the desert. So
Yeah,
just
and that's
hoping.
fair.
Just
It will.
hoping.
It'll definitely be in the desert.
Yeah. Like
Or we'll
I
just
played a
squeeze
lot
something
of.
else into Mauritania for Swampletics.
Oh man, I can't wait for that. I was thinking though, like, I played a lot of Zelda, and I fucking love the Spirit Temple. So that is like kind of my basis of thought process. Is like I picture it like this, like that, just like a fucking pyramid. I don't picture it as a pyramid, but I'm gonna change it into a pyramid, Menaphos or whatever.
I would love like an actual pyramid where you're just like it's like dark and you're like looting this
Yeah.
fucking like actual. I don't know. I have so many ideas in my mind. It never actually turns out like it. Every single time like a raid has ever come out or like like Theater of Blood, in my mind it's like this immaculate place. And then you just go in there, it's like it just looks like old school RuneScape again.
Yep.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot we're like limited, but no, I still like the old school charm graphics, but I always have something in mind that's so crazy.
Oh yeah. I think that's just like I don't know if you're artistic, but you have that artistic sense, at least in creation, where you I don't know, I have it where I just picture things a certain way, and then when they're not that way, it's not that I'm disappointed, but it's just
Yeah,
like
it's like damn.
you could have capitalized on this and made this better. I have that artistic sense of just like wanting to.
I
I don't
agree.
know.
I can already
Yeah.
envision what Raids 3 would look like certain rooms.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
just like already imagining it because I have a very a very visual like imagination, I guess.
I
It's
can see the fucking hieroglyphs on the wall and
Yeah,
shit.
no,
Like,
I could see
oh
everything.
man.
Like I'm just like
Yeah.
I can clearly see this hallway with these traps and like it's kind of sepulcher a little arrow shooting at you while you're like crossbowing these fucking guys that are shooting shit at you as well. Like I don't know, like
Oh dude.
they can make things so fun for Raids 3. We'll have
It's
to
gonna be
save it.
great. Yeah. No,
Um
I think honestly, I think next Sae Bae Cast, you do the intro and then I just start listing off race 3. Like we don't even like say hi or anything or like just
literally
start just like pick up right where we left off, except you get to do the intro.
listen. Um I want to plan this right now and we did something with BC Guppy where we literally just did another cast the next day. I'm not going to do it for this one, but I would love to get you on in like August,
Perfect.
like like a Saturday in August. You'll be the first like true repeat guest, and we'll just
Yeah,
it'll
no,
basically be
whatever
part 2.
whatever you want to do. I have the schedule I sent you is my schedule literally every single day. So Monday through Friday, 6 to 2:30 p.m. PST, and then after that it's like or like 3 p.m. is usually when I get home. I'm usually like ready to do anything at 4. So yeah, whenever works for you. You want to do it in 20 minutes? I could do it in 20 minutes too. So yeah.
All right, guys, listen. We'll be wrapping things up here. Guys, I want you each, if you're still listening at this point, go click on Lopsi's Twitch link in there. Go give him a follow. Go watch that dude, and just give him some love. Give him a follow. Say that Sae Bae sent him, even though he's literally right here. Also, your Twitch will be in the description. Is there anything else you would like in the description, Lopsy?
My Twitter is just a bunch of shit posts if you want that. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's perfect. People like that.
yeah, and thank you again, man. It's truly like you do a great thing. I know I'm like a very small content creator, and I feel like podcasts are like a great way to have a equilibrium of like content of you get to see whoever comes on, and then the people that watch the person who comes on gets to go watch you because you have a good personality and the way like we interact. They like to see and they want to see that in your chat.
It's
I
beautiful.
don't know. I don't know if you're gonna gain anything from my chat because I feel like everybody that watches me already watches you.
Nah,
So,
nah. I definitely will. I gain things every time I have another person on the cast, and I love it. I love that I can maybe help some other creator as well as helping
Yeah.
myself in the same way. I think it's beautiful.
I appreciate it. And also, if you do go into my stream, turn the fucking volume down. It is a
fucking shit show in there. It's loud as fuck. Turn the volume down, please. Please.
You guys heard it here.
Save yourself.
All right, guys. Lopsy, like I say to every guest, absolute pleasure having you on. And I have to say it again. This was fucking fun, dude. This was fun as hell.
Enjoyable. Very
This
enjoyable.
was really fun, and we're gonna get you on in a couple more months. Talk about some raids 3 shit, maybe some more topics. I know there'll probably be listeners listening now that didn't provide topics, so we'll go for another 4 hours probably on the next one.
That'll be a trip actually, because I feel like we have enough to cover 4 hours with what we left out. So
We literally do. That was like the BC Guppy thing. We're like, we could probably squeeze it all in an hour. No, it was another like 3.5 hours.
yeah, I mean, great on its own. So
All right, well, we'll wrap it up here, guys. Thank you. Next week's guest is Rigondow. So a lot of you guys probably know him. We already have it planned. I can't believe I actually have a guest already planned. So stay tuned for that one next Tuesday. I believe it's Tuesday, not Wednesday. I'll be sure to inform you guys on Twitter. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.